Hello, everybody, and welcome to session 3 of Infinite Fantasy. As I'm joined by the whole cast. Say hello, whole cast.
Hello,
Whole
cast.
Great.
Just refusing to
That was pretty good.
participate, as
I would
usual.
do it, but it was pretty good.
Is the stream streaming? Sometimes it shows me as having no ping until I refresh the page or something. Okay, that's fine. All right. Last time, you guys escaped the Gestalt research facility after the device containing the Esper blew up in the room, unleashing a beam of energy up to the sky. It took a bit of doing, but you were able to get that out with only one of you being seen, and escaped seemingly safely to the kind of industrial sector of the city of Solness, where you had some time to kind of recoup, collect yourselves and discuss what exactly happened, you think, and go over some of the things that you found, because you took some documents and things from the facility as you were fleeing. You attempted to call the captain of the Priscilla to try to arrange a pickup, but found that the port was still under blockade's not quite the right word, but being restricted. Access was being restricted by the military still as a result of the protests and probably the explosion now as well. However, somehow the Imperial soldiers seem to have tracked you or discovered your location as you were ambushed by what seems to be a squad of soldiers in a pair of Magitech armor, which, partially thanks to whatever newfound strength that you gained from the Esper, it seems, were able to defeat these enemies and then flee, heading out of the city north and into the jungle, hopefully to find a spot where the airship can come and get you safely once they are able to do that. So you were able to kind of cross the river, get out, get into the jungle, and you now have been you've been trekking for the better part of the day, and it's getting to be about time to start to make camp. You're not that far from the city. You can still see it in the distance if you look back. You are climbing somewhat uphill as well into this jungly area. But yeah, that's where you guys are at the moment. What's everybody thinking about or doing? What's the case maybe?
I think Zed, at probably much earlier in the day, has had talked to Asta and asked them, what kind of space do we need to be picked up by the airship? Wow.
Sorry, one more time.
What kind of space do we need to be picked up by the airship?
At least Andrew, how big would you say the Priscillium is? Because we are kind of a cargo.
Yeah, it's pretty big, but it can hover, so it doesn't need to. It doesn't need to necessarily land. You still need a decent bit of space for them to spot you and stuff. So
yeah,
like a large field or clearing. Unfortunately, it is fairly thick in this area. So
It's really not a good place.
you could either climb up into the mountains till you found like a good precipice that they could like stop near, or probably like if you were to go down into some of the valleys, there might be like a river that's wide enough for them to stop at.
I'll relay that
Um,
to.
So I think Zed probably, assuming Asta doesn't have a preference between the two, has like been leading the group as much as possible towards to try and find a river that was big enough. The mount like the cover of the jungle like helps us much more than the openness of mountains and stuff. So, but we kind of have just been thinking about the way that this mission went. The fact that like he and Roscoe had been essentially the two people sent on it, plus Asta as a potential contact, to then what the expectation was that we were going to do. And he's kind of thinking about like, he always is like, he constantly debriefs in his own head about like the decisions that the people that are giving him jobs are making. Not that he would ever turn one down, but he's thinking about it, and probably pretty quiet unless somebody approaches him to say anything.
While everyone's like traveling, when Roscoe like arrived here in Solus, were they given any type of like briefing around the general area of like, hey, because of like the increased monster activity, stay away from these regions or like these particular sections of region?
It was kind of assumed that you were mostly going to stay in the city, but there was kind of like a general thing. Could you make me a nature check?
Ten.
Okay. You kind of roughly remember the layout and some of the things about like the area. As for particular places to avoid, mostly it just says like the deeper forest areas are more dangerous.
But like nothing about like the mountains or anything like that, or
Not in
did they
particular.
kind of just assumed we wouldn't remotely even go that close, I guess.
Yeah, apart from like the plains that the city is kind of centered on, this region isn't super inhabited. There is like a battlefield if you were to go a little bit more to the southeast of where you are. That's probably marked as being dangerous. It's also more cleared if you wanted to go get picked up there, but it is marked as being dangerous. You know, like a lot more monster activity, undead, etc., as a result of the battle that occurred there.
Okay, so it's not like an active battle; it's like an old battlefield.
Yeah, it's like an old battlefield.
If it gets passed around that like we're kind of looking for a clearing, Roscoe would speak up. Just say that when we were given report, we were kind of just told not to venture too deep past the initial tree line. There is I guess there was some battle that was fought close to here, southeast. It's clear, open, but places like that tend to attract unwanted elements that we might want to avoid, monsters, undead, that sort.
I think
Keep an eye out.
Zed nods, and it probably breaks him a little bit out of like the cycle of thought that he's in, and he kind of turns. I think naturally he like would be walking towards the front, and he would have probably intimated early on at Roscoe to like be towards the back. In a way that Roscoe definitely understands means in case somebody like to watch the three people that are new as much as to watch our backs. But he says, well, I wasn't planning on leaving the city today. He kind of gestures to the fact that he's wearing basically nothing, like just traveling clothes. So I don't. What do people have in terms of camping gear? I'm happy to sleep on the floor, but did everybody bring things for a long trip?
I too wasn't planning to leave the city.
Roscoe,
Silas
like,
face and just shows in his jacket that while there are some useful things like snack bars and stuff like that, but he's literally just got a fucking stapler, like a grades ledger.
Roscoe pats down like his vest and like chest, and he pulls out like a half-eaten like energy bar, puts it back, pulls out an autograph pen, puts it back, pulls out his pomade can, realizes the cap hadn't been fully on, screws it on tighter, puts it back, and shrugs.
In that moment of Roscoe showing stuff, Zed is also like pulling out like what is essentially like just the neck of a guitar, but it's much, much longer, and it kind of unfolds, and strings sort of like appear as lasers across them, and he like folds that back up. A bag that looks like it could have had heaps of stuff in, but he pulls out like a bunch of like different hair inks and things like that. But he does hold up a water skin that is full. So, I've got that. I deleted my backpack, by the way, because I'm like, I don't think I brought that with me.
Yeah.
At some point, do we all
Well, I
turn our
put
attention
the ship-
to Agatha, who definitely was mentioned as having a bug out bag?
Yes. Agatha,
Yeah.
do
What-
you have things
what-
to be out in the woods?
I mean, if you want to like take a look, packed with the intention of getting out today. And then she opens a backpack and it's like a change of clothes and maybe some matches, a bottle of water, what a teenager would think is an appropriate like amount of stuff for like bugging out. There's like a blanket, certainly not like an actual bedroll or like enough food for more than like an extra day or two.
Well, better than
Right.
nothing.
So we have a half-eaten energy bar, a couple protein bars, a bag of jerky, and a water skin and a bottle.
On the
I
fruit
don't
leather.
think it's fair to call Silas a bag of jerky. That says mainly to gauge Silas's reaction. I'd like to make an insight roll on Silas.
Roscoe's left.
Go ahead. Let's see. Silas, when you say that, like Silas is looking over at Agatha's bag, and has not quite reached up to like massage his temples or anything, but there had been that moment earlier where he asked Agatha about like how much do you have in your bug out bag and do you need to go back to your house? And so he's just like staring at those contents. And so it takes him a moment to register the comment towards himself. And I really don't think that Zed, even with that score, gets much of anything off of Silas because Silas in that moment doesn't really feel much about a comment of that level. Like it doesn't register, like it doesn't hit above a level that he can even like notice really. So there's just a kind of like placid, like faint smile that appears, but
Do you think it's fair for me with the 16 insight to interpret that as Zed being put more at ease with Silas because Silas is not so on edge that he's thinking about everything that's being said? which if you were a spy, which Zed is kind of considering, you would be more on edge. I'm asking Charlie if you think that's a fair
No, sorry. I
thing.
my mic did the thing again. So I heard the part where
So,
you said,
do,
does Zed get put less on edge
yeah,
because
do you think it's fair for me to interpret that as Zed as being less thinking you're a spy because you're not paying that much attention, which he thinks that a spy would be, and be more on edge about?
yeah, probably. I
Okay.
think, and
Cool.
also probably it's a very like non-reactivity thing, right? It's
Yeah.
like you pull on a dog's tail and the dog just barely seems to notice it. That's kind of the impression that you get out of that.
Okay. Zed doesn't reveal any thoughts, but says, okay, so we also need to find food.
Food.
But a blanket is always useful, Agatha. And he like kind of holds up his heavy traveler's cloak that from some angles just looks like a blanket.
Agatha raises an eyebrow and then like pops her hoodie back on her head, and reaches into her bag and pulls out a bunch of like fruit jerky and goes, I mean, not fruit jerky, fruit leather, and goes, I mean, if we food, do you want some fruit leather?
Roscoe will immediately take one.
It might be better to save the things that last while we're in an area that hunting is maybe a little bit better. And he kind of looks around, and there's many things Zed is competent at, and hunting is not one of them. Like, he just looks around and goes, can I make like a survival check to see if I see like any trails of anything that I don't think is a monster? As we're wondering. You're muted, Andrew. But I assume that's
Sorry.
a yes.
Yes, you can make a survival check.
14. I thought it was going to be a 4.
Yeah, you're kind of looking around. I mean, it's full of life in this area. Somewhat to your chagrin, as you like smack a bug onto your jacket. You do find a game trail that seems to have some animal prints. You can't really say how old they are, but they are like animal-sized hoofs. They don't seem to be monsters or anything like that. You also
At
do
least there's
note
things around.
that there's like some fruits and like berries and roots in the area. I think with the 14, you're not 100% whether or not they are fully edible, since you're not from this area.
I think Zed would never consider himself smart enough to not poison everybody. But I think after taking stock, we'll say, okay, let's make towards the battlefield that Roscoe mentioned. If we've come upon a space that you think the Priscillium can land, before that, Asta, let us know if anybody sees anything out of the ordinary or like larger beasts that we could potentially try and hunt for some food. Let us know. He kind of gestures to Roscoe when he says us. And we can take
So-
better stock at camp.
I do have to ask though. So if we're going to say we find like some game, a deer or something. I'm quick. What am I supposed to just run it down and punch it in the head or something? Like
I have a gun.
Zed also shows a gun, but also then just from one gun has twirls a pistol quite poorly. A 14 dex poorly level of gun spin, but then like clicks his finger and just prestidigitates a spark from the other one and says, we have ways, I think, to take down game if we can get close enough.
I'm not saying I
If
wouldn't.
you just point it out for me, I can shoot it.
Well, shooting
can
gives us
shoot it.
one chance.
Well, I also have Firebolt.
Yes. I have more insidious ways of hurting things, which maybe kind of shrugs this. But I think the first thing is to get as far as we can before we camp for the evening. Nobody is particularly injured, he asks.
No. Silas
Um,
just shrugs a little.
Recovered somewhat. Should we talk about how they found us in the first place?
Do you mean in
If that happens again while we're out here.
the perimeter of the area that they were?
Felt like they knew that we were there. You don't launch a rocket into random buildings. And it's not like we were
Mhm.
plastered up against windows.
I wonder if somehow they were able to trace the Esper's magic on us or something.
Maybe we just ran straight in a direction like that maybe they saw us leave from. We didn't turn left or right.
Didn't we split up and then come back together?
No, we did sort of, but we also did. We went to something of a defensible and unused position, but I think Zed will, looking through everything he has, the only thing he has that isn't his from the Empire is Roscoe's insignia, and he like tosses it to Asta and says, "That's all I have that they could be tracing something. If it's not the Esper's magic, if they're tracing the Esper's magic, then they will always be able to."
Binder I gave you, perhaps.
Mm.
Less
So
because I
Asta,
believe it's
perhaps
an option, and more because I feel like we should exhaust all options.
yeah. Perhaps when we camp, we will find everything that could be being traced and give it a thorough looking over.
Right. Well,
that
I'll
case.
take back. We start walking anyway. Think if something tries to jump out of one of these trees, it would probably be better if it landed on me than some of you. He looks directly at Agatha when he says that.
Silas,
Sorry, what was that?
Silas interjects, like, as you're. I, for one, would very much appreciate that. Rolls out his shoulders, and kind of like nudges to turn around and start moving forward with Miss Locke.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
Zed,
so real. I was taking notes and lost track of how I'm being egged on right now.
Roscoe
Yeah,
basically
well,
said, if Big Thing jumps at us, Big Thing should land on Roscoe and not little people, and then looked at Agatha, basically.
Oh, then I think maybe Agatha's gonna let that slide. Just doesn't clock it.
I love playing D&D with this group where the weak little people are all 14 con.
Yep.
Like, we're all so squishy with our 14 con. But yeah, Zed will just start leading people onwards.
relatively soon into that walk, Silas is going to drift up alongside Zed, and not so quiet that Agatha can't hear, but definitely waited for like a moment where it was plausible to talk to a person instead of a whole group, and just says, "Thank you for going after her back there."
Zed kind of is doing his absolute best of looking like he is scanning forward with thought about where he's going, because his survival is not great. So he's kind of just following the general direction and a map that he has a memory of. So he takes a moment before he turns to you and says, well, yeah, there's a little good coming in letting someone die when I'd completed my mission. I'm currently completely expendable to the resistance, not necessarily to the Espers, but he kind of looks at Silas and probably for the first time like lets his face actually show emotion when he's like himself. And he says, when I left the Empire, they gave me 2 files. One for Athar, a person that I deemed reliable and potentially helpful, and one for you, someone who had chosen to not be involved for whatever reason. So forgive me if I am a little wary of you. For
Silas, whenever you say, 2 files, is like already beginning to like wrinkle his nose just a bit. There's just like that slight grimace on teeth setting, and it only increases when it says when you say and of you, and then relaxes as you continue on, and just rolls out a shoulder and says, "No, exactly," which is why I'm thanking you, because not only would it have been reasonable to leave her behind, but you left. I've met a lot of people with a goal, and the thing to do is to follow the goal, fight the costs. And I appreciate that you took the risk.
that Zed gives you the something that I think in time you will understand is like respect of considering what you said and doesn't begin to respond immediately and says, Solness is a sad situation, but is the most recent in a long line of sad situations. But if you lose the idea that individual people matter, how is that any better than what the Empire does? Agatha's life, if we had escaped and we had gone on to save the world, but it had cost Agatha being executed as a spy, and I could have stopped that, have I made the world slightly more dark by not making the choice that was a risk? And I think you have reasonably high insight, right?
My passive is 17, yes.
I think with the 17, you know both that he is asking himself if he did the right thing more than asking you to confirm it, but also that he is letting you read something into what he's saying. Like he is unschooling his features and his voice to be more open with you in that moment.
I think
Whether
like
that is truth or not. That's up
right.
to you.
Yeah. I think Silas just gives like a faint nod. It's not deep. It's a more kind of considering, not a yes, but sort of a perhaps. Well, I suppose we're all about to find out what risks we'll take.
Zed nods and says, And if Agatha is set on walking the path of resistance, which is a brave one, then, and if you are, I will respect both of your bravery, and would in future also risk myself for you, even for Roscoe.
Silas Silas kind of chuckles at that one. This idea that you'd risk yourself even for the person that's clearly the team partner.
Mm-hmm. And then if Silas doesn't move away pretty quickly, Zed will just start asking you a bunch of questions about like the specific noble structure of Solness. Like, because he knows that you've taught nobles, and he's like interested in like how their how the noble structure was in the kingdom before the Empire took it over. But it seems like it's not a
Yeah,
not for Empire or rebellion reasons, just because he's a nerd.
yeah, yeah. That like that side of it starts out with, you know, Silas like pausing and thinking and using names carefully, because there are people that are implicated in the Empire that he's not so sure deserve to be like called out for yet. There's like this long moment at the start of this where he's kind of stumbling through the interactions, and then he's like picking up on what you're really asking for, and it um the thing that starts to slip through at that point, rather than like the slipping through of like names and stuff, is uh like exasperation, right? Like he'll be talking about like a party that was held every year, um by, you know, the most in of families, and the year that I was working for, the reruns where the they weren't invited, and I received an invitation and it just goes on in that length of like, you know, the little bullshit that happens, and it is just so exasperated and a little bit contemptuous. Uh, but when he talks about the people, it's affectionate.
Yeah, Zed seems to be very happy to kind of listen, and he asks particularly like pointed questions that are like that get you to talk more about like particular etiquette stuff, and he's just like by the end of it you can tell that like if he needed to be a Solness Empire noble, he would do it better than he did as Zale now.
Yeah. So gives you as much as he can on that, before eventually kind of clearing his throat and saying something to the measure of, uh, "Not that I'm not amenable to talking to you in the future, but I think I need a moment out of the lecture mode, if as it were."
uh, he chuckles and says, "Well, your teaching demeanor did not remind me of the lecturers at my school, so I enjoyed the conversation."
You've seen my pupils. It's
I think when you say that, Zed's eyes like kind of dart to where Agatha is to make sure that he still kind of knows that Agatha is with them, because he is worried that he's going to turn around and this child will not be there anymore.
I
But yeah, he gives you a smile.
I truly love your physicality for this character, Kristen.
I'm having such a good time.
Yeah, and at that point, Silas kind of drifts back to the general like vicinity of like hovering around Miss Locke, and is much quieter.
And if we're continuing to walk and we have some more space for little character scenes.
No, you guys are fine. Can somebody quickly remind me though? Which direction did you opt for? Was it the
Towards the
battlefield?
battlefield.
Southeast towards
Okay,
the
that's what I
battlefield, but we're
thought.
keeping an
Mhm.
eye out for anything that might be suitable before then.
For food.
Gotcha. Okay.
Suitable and for food before then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And
You guys
also,
are-
you know, that we're not getting actively hunted.
Okay.
I will just, if there needs to be a survival check or something, I will give someone else
Listen,
the help action. 'cause
while
it's
we're
not
while we're
helping.
moving, can Roscoe make a perception check, like from the back, just to make sure there's like nothing happen.
But then also it is important that I want to hear what Kristen wants
Yeah,
to do.
sure.
as a
You can make a
character.
I do
roll.
as well.
Oh no, I am absolutely fine.
11.
Uh-huh.
Never mind. 8.
Okay. Krista, what were you gonna say?
No. Agatha is mainly, again, has been walking in silence for the most part, and I think has not heard any of these conversations because she has her fantasy iPod on.
Listening to the same 3 songs.
The
in a
same
row.
3 songs. And it's up to you to figure out which ones. But at some point, she keeps I think casting glances over to like Roscoe in particular, and is like slumping down into herself until finally she like pops out the earbud. She like walks over to you, like almost like she's gonna dodge away any minute, and then finally she settles into like her into herself, and she goes, "I'm sorry I called you a bastard and other things. That was pretty cool what you did back there."
Roscoe kind of like looks down at you suddenly talking to him. Here's the first part. You gotta say something, lets you finish, but then I appreciate it, but you are right. I am a bastard.
Well, I mean, like, what do you? I mean, like, I'm sorry. I thought you were like an actual cop and like wanted to like, you know, hurt you and whatever. I don't care who your parents are if that's what we're talking about.
Roscoe goes to say something about that. Actually, looks like he gets a considering look on his face. Kind of, no, that's not. Thanks. You did very well. By the way, in the fight, I don't know if you. Actually, I was going to ask about this at some point. Where did you learn to fence? Your footwork wasn't necessarily beginners.
She quickly glances over at Orion and then goes, "I'm pretty self-taught, actually. It's just like things you need to learn." And then she glances over at Orion again.
Well, for
Definitely not indicating that like she had gym class with him and that was like part of the lesson planning.
Roscoe has a -1 insight, so it's all flying true.
That's
Here,
beautiful.
1 second.
I was gonna originally have Orion call over whenever you said something about the bastard and the being, you know, what you did back there being like, oh yes, punching me was cool. But I'm glad I didn't now because Orion can just be in ignorance of this whole conversation.
But well, for being self-taught, you're pretty good. I never picked up sword very well. Easier to hit things.
Agatha glances down at the sword. It is like rusty, crusty, antique. And goes, I mean, hitting things is also pretty cool. You're probably less likely to. I probably need a new one of these. Which I'll figure out at some point, probably. The Resistance has like really y'all have like arsenals and shit, right? Like,
Sure.
Cool. And then she breaks out into a grin and then pops her hood back on, her earbuds back in, doesn't wait for like any sort of like closeout on this conversation, and walks away.
Walks away to Roscoe, seeing that exit, and just, what a weird kid. Gets hit in the face by a branch.
Yep.
All right.
But yes, unless somebody suggests otherwise, Zed is inclined to like go slightly further than you would expect to travel one day from the city. Like he'll push a bit further into the night to kind of be in an unexpected place rather than being like, if you just did the math of how far do groups travel in like this band, he'd try to push a bit further than that.
As it becomes apparent that we are going to travel a bit further than that, Silas will ask, do we want to break long enough to investigate the badge and then branch off and set the badge elsewhere if we believe Whip's tracking us, and then continue on to camp? Or are we going to investigate the badge where we spend the night?
We could take a quick-ish break to go over things that we're carrying that could be tracked, if Asta, you don't mind. I wouldn't mind getting out of this. And he kind of gestures to his entire body to the point that nobody could possibly know what he means.
Mhm. My God.
But he also does like nod at Silas, like it being a good idea.
Just the wrong sweatshirt to wear today.
And that's funny. And yeah, Zed will pause at like the next place that has like anywhere that people could like kind of comfortably sit on the ground and just like take a break long enough for Asta to check through our various things and for me to go change my hair.
And like as Asta does that, Silas will, I think it's still just kind of by reflex out of the guise of asking questions like he's trying to learn it, but it's like it's more on like that conveyance of guidance and support. I don't have Arcana, but at some point as you're like starting to like really deeply look at these, Silas's fingers will kind of sparkle and says, would you mind touch of support in your own natural abilities? To Asta.
Yes. I also have the identify spell, but I don't have it prepared for today. I had grief prepared instead.
Hey, you know who does have identify right now?
Do you have it?
I do.
Beautiful.
I say I can do a cursory check at this moment, but in the morning I could do a more thorough investigation of these items. That's what we're working with here, unless someone else can do more than I can at this immediate moment.
Much are you still in iPod mode?
Of course.
Okay, and presumably Silas would know that these are some of the things that you had gone off on and learned, or is this a new thing for you?
Oh, I think she 100%. Anytime she learns like a new little magical spell, she goes, "Orion, look at this new thing I can do," and then tries to pretend that she doesn't think it's as cool as it is.
Yeah. So, Silas leans over to Asta and says, "Miss Locke might be of use to you, but I don't think she's heard a word you've said."
Agatha. No. Poke, poke, poke.
Whoa, what the fuck, man? Personal space. Dude. She pops out the earbuds.
Your teacher tells me that you are magically trained and can sometimes magically identify things. Yes? Is this true?
I mean, magically trained and it isn't what I'd quite call it, but yeah, I've got some tricks. I can work with magic items and at least figure out what they do.
Great. I can normally do that as well, but I would need to have a rest before I do that. Best I can do is a cursory check. Would you like to work together?
Yeah, sure.
Great. So we can combo, identify, do Arcana checks, whatever you think, Andrew, would
Yeah.
be appropriate. Like, could I do like an Arcana check as like a scanning of everyone's personal items themselves, and then if
Yeah.
we find stuff, then I guess I could do identify.
Make your Arcana check. I'm just thinking about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
that one.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is reading has like etheric signatures off of them, arcane stuff, and it is heightened. Partially, I mean, some of you, like Roscoe's arms light up because, like, you know, etc. But there's too much going on for you to get like any sense of much just from like trying to look at just the flows of energy. Going through all the items,
messing with my ideas, with my sense of.
Going through all the items you have, they all look normal, like a cursory inspection. The stuff that is magic reads to you as being magic. The stuff that isn't doesn't. You're not detecting anything off. But again, you're like have a sort of a blindness at the moment. Your eyes are trying to adjust.
Yeah. I also don't know what most of you, any of you really, tend to carry on your person normally versus not. So I unfortunately do not have much insight right now.
Is there anything in particular anyone's worried about? Like on them right now?
I think primarily it was just that edge.
We're just trying to find out if any of us has like a secret embedded magic tracking device.
Mm-hmm. I'll also pull out the Esper research notebook as well, because that could have a tracking thing in it. Who knows?
Silas kind of clears his throat and drops the rifle that he picked up during the fight and looks over at Roscoe for the grenade launcher.
Yes, I don't believe those are two things that the two of you tend to carry.
Yep, takes off the launcher and kind of tosses it.
Was that Deus Ex Machina is back out of the jungle where he now looks different enough that you could confuse him for a different person were he not wearing mostly the same clothes. His hair is black and slicked back, no longer in a ponytail, but kind of bunched up behind his head. His features look finer somehow, as if he was wearing like contouring before that. He holds up a hand signal to Roscoe. That is the signal that he always holds up when he's in person. And he says, well, they could be tracking those things, but they couldn't have tracked us to the warehouse with those, because that's where you picked them up.
Yeah, that's right. Roscoe's face kind of scrunches for a second after thinking, looking at the kind of just gathered pile of stuff. And we'll look over at Agatha. And after looking down for a second, we'll hold his arm out.
Also, importantly, for Chris, this is what Zed normally looks like.
Okay.
You have met Zed before. He just hasn't looked like this for a while.
Wait, you want me to cast? You want me to? You want me to? You want me to do this on your arm? Is that what are we doing here, man? Okay, okay. Yeah, I'll cast Identify on his arm.
Prosthetic could be tracked. It's a good
Do I?
thought.
Let's see. Do I get access to ritual casting, or do I need to expend the spell slot for this?
You need to split the spell slot for this.
Cool.
When you go to do it, you do get the usual, like, it's like a tap to your shoulder, just a 2-fingered tap, and like a careful point at, and that's your guidance. I don't know if it's a roll for anything that we're doing with this Identify, but
No, I'm just having fun. I don't think you need to roll for Identify. Also, you just.
you don't. And Identify doesn't tell you a lot of things, but just depending on.
I mean, actually, it tells you quite a bit.
Yeah, by default it does. I know a lot of people change those sorts of things for it to not.
Oh, I
give
might
quite
not.
as much
Yeah.
information.
So like, there's.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can ritually cast, but I don't
don't-
have it prepared. So
do the.
But
You don't need to have a spell prepared to ritually cast it.
I do as an artificer.
What?
oh yes,
What a
that is true.
stupid class. You have ritual
Um,
casting, but only for prepared spells. So weird.
Yes, these are magic items. You learn a little bit about like Roscoe's arms. Like they have like a number of elements that they can use to power up his attacks, etc. One strange thing that when you're like identifying these, so normally these are like they're essentially battery powered, right? Like he has to get them recharged normally every so often through like the use of refined aetherite. Mostly just like load them up and they last for a long time. It's not like this is an issue in the short term. However, there seems to be the power, instead of being taken from like aetherite crystals, is being siphoned from somewhere inside Roscoe at the moment. So they are fully charged. Which you don't know much about these, but that doesn't seem to be the way that they're supposed to work.
Hey man, just like a quick question as I'm like sorting through your arms.
That's weird.
They're like typically battery powered, right? Like, are you the battery? Are you supposed to be the battery?
No, it's aetherite.
Well, that's not. No, that you're the battery right now. Or like maybe it's being powered by like the Esper bullshit that's inside of all of us now.
Roscoe kind of blinks at you, and then we'll just turn his head to look at whoever's holding the book, the Esper book. Like,
I the shrugs and goes, "Whoa, shit, fuck."
you okay?
That
Yeah,
Hooked
dude.
up.
1 second.
Tell really bad.
No, I set up too fast.
Oh,
Zed,
The other problem.
Zed says, well, there is a connection between Espers and Magitech and the way in which the what is the name of this empire? Igrabaldi?
Um,
I don't know. Man.
Igralian.
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 And the Igralian Empire has been trying to harness things towards their Magitech, as far as I am aware. Zed says, both to him, he's like, I think this is true. both from what I believe about magic and the world and what I have been told by people. But I couldn't tell you exactly where I was off the top of my head. But he says it as truth. So you
Makes
did.
sense.
I've seen unwillingly much of your boxing career, Oscar. And I don't know that I've ever seen you land punches with the weight that you were throwing them against that Magitech armor.
I also couldn't have shrug off, at least not as easy, all of. Well, I got hit by a fucking rocket. Oh, it's not his arm. Though I have mixed. We broke this thing out so it wouldn't be a battery. And, don't know if it knew what it was signing up for, necessarily. I kind of like
Well,
his arm around.
something can be supporting you and not be in servitude as a battery. And Zed kind of
yeah.
looks at Silas like Silas is going to provide an answer to that, given that Silas keeps being able to talk to this thing.
Silas just like one like whereas earlier you said Roscoe's like beard and all of that and his hair is like really nicely pomaded, right?
Yes.
Does Roscoe also have like very like neat trimmed well kept eyebrows?
Obviously.
Okay, yeah. So like whereas like we both have equivalent amounts of facial hair, and Silas has not gone fully over to Mountain Man, but it's just like so much messier, right? Like it's a really high eyebrow raise over at Zed and says, well, I don't sense any resentment, but it's a tenuous connection at best, perhaps when we were at camp. Get a better impression. I think, not to judge an Esper by my own standards, but on the basis of the thank you that we received, we're in a temporary alliance, at least.
Zed nods and says, so no news on how they found us at the warehouse?
Doesn't look like it.
Did anybody investigate the badge itself? That's above board.
Is the badge was it a patch or was it an actual like?
Yeah, I don't really know what it was. It was literally the only thing Zed was carrying from.
It's not like a cop badge. It's more like an ID card.
Yeah, like a little thingy scan.
That
But
would have been
is
the
it-
only thing that you would have had to like give him.
Let's say is it realistic for anything to have really been hidden inside of it?
Possible, but not really.
Well,
It's also easy
we
to
can
dump
solve.
because
Yeah, we can solve that by throwing it away, or if you would like to ceremonially crush your ID card, Roscoe. He
Roscoe
like
makes like a
flicks it to you.
yeah, Roscoe he like snatches it, but in the snatch like
Active.
It's travel for another hour or so and to make a camp somewhere. Thank you for your investigations, Agatha and Astor.
I guess that shrugs.
Zed barely registers any response to his thank you, but
go.
All right, can I get one of you to give me a survival check to make sure that you're going in the right direction?
I
'Cause it
think,
is thick
despite the
jungle.
fact I'm bad at it, Zed has been kind of leading the party, so I'm happy to make the role while being bad at it, if that makes sense story-wise.
Can I give the help action as I'm like trying to find a good place for the Persilium to come and get us as well?
Sure, I'll allow it.
You have to have the skill, right?
Oh,
I think that
Yeah.
you've explained it in a
Dope.
way that it's fine.
Great. Excellent. Thank you, Maddie.
It won't help in some cases, but specifically for that thing,
Mhm.
it would be slightly.
Well, fear not. It was a good advantage because it got me to 12.
Do something.
Yes, Chris, it seems.
Okay. Well, I'll play it back.
Oh no.
You guys are making your way. Again, it's thick jungle. You're able to find like some, again, like fruits and stuff that you think are edible, but you're kind of distracted, so looking for game isn't really going very well. There's also a lot of you, and you're not really hunting. You're kind of trying to move quickly, so you're just would be spooking anything that would be coming close to you. You do make good pace, though. You're kind of heading. You start most of the day going uphill, and then at some point it starts to go downhill as you kind of turn away from the mountain and begin heading towards this battlefield. Can I get somebody to roll me just a flat d20?
Yeah.
I did it already.
Jack's too fast.
The best roll.
However, while you are fairly unsuccessful at hunting, at some point during the day, getting close to probably when you would want to stop, you don't think you're going to reach this battlefield today.
What a cliffhanger. Well, you are unsuccessful at anything.
You do start to hear growling coming from the underbrush as you are kind of making your way out along. Just putting in tokens.
And I
Yes.
already know that monsters and stuff are more agitated by the Aspers because that was part of my mission briefing. So I think instead of and just reading prestidigitation, I think instead of saying anything, Zed is going to continue, like, stay focused on the underbrush. I want to roll potentially nature to know what kind of things in this area might growl, just from my natural understanding of like geographical places. And then with a hand, he just murmurs something and prestidigitation plays like an ominous, like that start of like Final Fantasy VII's battle theme, to alert everybody that there is danger. Says
And
you
we
can
all
make
know what
faint
that
musical
means.
notes. Well, okay.
I love it. I love it a lot.
I found a way to start battles with battle music, and I think you should reward that, Maddie, instead of being sassy.
Silas is essentially preparing to cast Bless. If it looks like this is going to be.
Sorry,
if it looks like we're
you guys
actually,
don't
like, having
actually
a-
have this much time. I'm just
Oh,
setting up the
Jesus.
map.
Oh, we don't have that much time. Okay.
Yeah. You hear growling and then stuff starts to happen.
Oh, okay.
I will allow Zed to have played the battle music because that's
Yeah.
fine.
I'll send a thing to the Final Fantasy VII battle music for everybody that is Maddie that wants to hear it.
Trying
Cool.
to keep up while I was on Twitch.
Uh,
And I was like, oh, what a perfect time for Roscoe to disappear combat.
Yeah, so Zed
Yeah.
prestidigitates
Have to
like the
change
first
their
2
place,
bars of
the
Let the Battles Begin
volumes.
from Final Fantasy VII.
Hey, Andrew.
Yes.
At least one of the tokens in here is a dragon.
That's with a K. That has a K in it.
So
A
Mortal Kombat dragon.
dragon.
Yeah, it does. Dragons do
Yep.
exist in this world. This is not a dragon. So you guys are level 6. It's fine.
So, are we rolling initiative?
Yes, please. Sorry, I'm just fixing token names and making sure that these garms don't say tiger. So it's the stat block I started with.
Did we actually get that long rest? I did the long rest button, but were we supposed to have long
Yeah,
rest?
yeah, you can have long rested. It's been
Okay.
quite a while. You've been moving, but
Would
you
this
guys,
would it
you
count
guys
as a long rest
refresh
for
better.
choosing spells before this happens?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Then I could have had
Oh,
it
wonderful.
prepared.
That's great.
Oh well.
Oh,
I
get
did
to
say
choose my
that you could have long
spells.
rested,
Oh, yeah.
or that you had long rested. I'm pretty sure at the start.
I can stop being full teacher mode with my spell list right now.
All right. As this growling happens and things start to emerge from the various points in the jungle, Agatha, you were the first to react. And you start to notice there's these mixture of these large, strange, like wolf-like creatures. They're not quite as furry as like a normal wolf would be. There's like plenty of spots where they're it's like mostly just looks like leathery skin. These winged eye creatures, as well as one kind of serpentine creature with wings that does kind of look like a dragon, but it is much smaller than the dragon you may have seen before. You understand that these are monsters. These are not animals. These are creatures made out of an abundance of ether and other sorts of magical energies. What are you doing?
Agatha pulls out one earbud, keeps the other one in, cranks the music up in that ear, breathes out with a smile, and then I'm going to have her. I see this log right here.
Yeah.
Can I hide behind that?
Yeah, you can attempt to. You're a little exposed there from some angles.
Cool. I'm trying to get out of eye line from the wolf,
Okay.
so that I can get sneak attack on the wolf.
Sure, that's fine. Yeah.
So popping over here, we'll do a bonus action hide. Do and gonna pop out, and we're gonna pop just a firebolt at it for this first round. And I'm going to burn one of my. Well, let me see if I hit first. What?
Is it doing
Why
that
does-
thing again?
Yeah, it did. Did
Maybe
an
I need to
18?
update a mod. Why it does it sometimes, but not other times.
Yeah. So 2D. Yeah, I guess. Did the 18 hit it?
Yes, an 18 does hit.
Okay,
That's,
so
that's
and I'll,
pretty good.
I'll
2d10.
and I'm happy to take the 2d10, and then I'm going to burn the amateurs. One use of amateurs intuition to also get the sneak attack. Bonus on top of that, if that is all right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. For a sick total of 29 damage. Hey.
What?
I hate a privately rolled GM dice.
No, I'm just rolling their. So I wanted to roll a lot of creatures' HPs because of the way that Jack's stuff works.
Yeah.
Makes
So
sense.
Yeah,
I'm
because-
just doing that.
Yeah. There are some situations when it is otherwise insanely bullshit if they all have the same max HP.
But yes, that does do quite a bit of damage to this creature as it yelps out in pain, scorched all across its side as you hit it with your sneak attack. I'm just going to quickly try to do all of their HPs without slowing things down too much. Get the other creatures in a second. This Garm is going to leap down, charging into the first creature it sees, which happens to be Asda. Yes, it does. All right, yeah. So it kind of leaps down from this rise, bounding over. Is going to use its bonus action. Okay, well, it has to hit first. It's going to attack you.
Great.
Claw.
Can't see it.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, that will hit.
And it's going to use its bonus action to pounce. So I need you to make a strength saving throw. Sorry, it does this for free. If it goes off, it can bite attack you. That's the way that works.
Nope. That's an 8.
Oh, this should be better. So you take that 19 points of damage as you're like knocked down, and then the creature is snarling, like biting at you as you're on the ground. This other one is going to go. However, it's going to go after Agatha. We just shot a firebolt at it. But same thing. Claw. Hitting, and then I need you to make a strength save.
Great.
Be fine.
13 is still enough. You're fine. You manage to stay up as though you take this big paw attack straight to your chest, and it kind of growls at you.
I haven't growled back.
But okay, looks confused. The eye wing. That's not your name. We're gonna have to change their name in 5 places. Evil Eye is going to go. It's gonna fly over to. Move way more. Oh, it's not using its fly speed. That's why. Change that. It's gonna move over here and use its rotting gaze on Silas.
Cool.
You should make a con save.
The gays have gone through enough,
Kind of
actually.
crappy damage. You're fine. You ignore it as it kind of like this like eye sweltering, seemingly like dripping with tears, looks at you, and you can feel a wave of magic launch at you, but you resist it. That's gonna be its turn. The last Garm pop in.
Silas is very practiced in ignoring dirty looks.
Hopefully go for Roscoe.
Oh,
Roscoe, I
Jesus.
need you to make a strength save.
That does it.
I mean, if you're going to get crit,
It's not
At
that.
least it's
getting
it's
crit
not
by one of
that
these is the outcome. I think.
Hey, thank
yeah,
God for that
The
advantage.
first one was 17.
That's fine,
I
yeah.
shouldn't have advantage. I don't know why. I
Yeah,
rolled
because you
advantage.
haven't tranced yet, but that's okay. You're totally fine. You're big. It claws you like just straight across the chest, and it hurts, but you totally stand up. Then it's gonna be Asta's turn.
Great. Things have changed. I'm Thunderwave. As I have a cat impeding my movement of my mouth. Something like that.
Fail and success. Excuse me.
Great.
Sorry.
Terrible damage. A whole 9 thunder damage.
It's half still, right?
And they're pushed. Yeah, and then pushed 10 feet away from me. One of them is, at least.
I think the one that attacked you gets pushed.
Sweet. I will take it.
Once it gets knocked out.
And then bonus action. No, I didn't take the attack action. Never mind. That's it.
Do you want to stand up?
Oh yes, I will stand up. Oh, do I have any bonus actions I can do? No, because that's another spell. Yep, that's it.
Just quick magic, push it away from you. Get up, Silas.
Silas is going to, unsurprisingly, cast Bless. That then kind of like almost strings connecting, kind of resonating between Zed. Actually, Zed casts mostly like ability check, right? Like most saving throw spells.
From
How much-
what you have seen, yes.
Yeah. Like from what I've seen, it's been mostly like not attack throw stuff. So
Yep.
I'm gonna cast it on people I've seen using attack roll stuff. So Roscoe and Asta and Slock.
You have that.
That's my action, and I think I'll just I don't want to try to get out of the range of this. So
Can you output the spell?
sorry, I refreshed just a moment ago, and so I had to pull my character card back up.
It's okay. You all rolled 14.
And you don't
Yeah.
even have the
No.
you don't even have the thing
don't.
on that breaks tiebreakers. And I ended up last, which I feel like is accurate,
because it did it.
like half the time.
I feel like Silas should be in. No, I guess
It
I'm
did it
Silas should be
alphabetically,
last.
is why.
It's yeah, it would be me second because I have the in between decks, but Silas is an old feature.
Just assumed that it did that by default. Okay.
Can you apply? I don't know how to apply bless.
I think Andrew has to do it with how it's set up.
Okay.
Right. And it's gonna be. Did you want to move her? 1 second.
Throw it on me as well. I cast it at second level, right? That's four creatures.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't exactly want to move and hurry this thing's attention, so I'll just stay where I'm at.
Okay. Zed.
Okay, I have two questions.
Yes.
Did you decide how I learn blue magic? And could I learn rotting gaze? And third question, if both of those are yes, how?
Yes. Yes, if you scan and defeat a creature.
Okay, so I have to scan it. And we talked about scan being either bonus or full action, but it costs my movement if it's a full action. Was that what you decided?
No. What I meant when I said that was that if you scan, you can't move.
Oh, great, sure.
Basically.
That's fine too.
Like, so you're like standing in place, analyzing, but you can still do your rest of your stuff. That's what we're making the blue magic aspiration.
Okay. So scan takes a movement action only, or bonus action, or an action of a type and my movement.
No. It just takes up your movement.
Okay.
It's a free action, but you
All right.
lose all your movement.
Well, knowing that, because I like learning spells and it's my whole thing, I will scan the creature to the south that just cost Lord Gaze.
Yeah, the evil eye.
And which type of roll is it?
I think this one's Arcana. These are the Garms, if they had a thing, would be.
14. It's CR, half CR. There's no way this is.
Yeah, that's fine.
I will take AC and max HP.
Their AC is 15. This one, I didn't. Oh, that's wrong. Oh, no, that's right. Yeah, it's 49. I just showed it to you, but you just rolled for it anyways.
I'm mathing I'm mathing about whether the thing is better to use or not. As my action, I'm going to cast Armor of Agathis. Zed kind of pulls on that magic from like that he's been taught over the last 25 years, and he kind of forms it firstly around his like unattached puppet cords, and the ice kind of trickles up until it hits his hand, and then it just blasts across his whole body. And then I will not cast Discord 9, despite the fact I'm casting Armor of Agathis at that level.
Yeah, despite the fact that it would take out a quarter of HP.
Yeah, but a quarter of
It's just not that
49
much.
is not quite enough when I have another thing. So I don't need a bunch of template. So cast that. And then from the other hand, a quite small like bird appears, the spirit of it, and I'll cast the thing. And it's flying for arrow, so pick that one.
Yes, I'll do more.
And that will
just
hit.
hits, just barely. So I'll take 12.
Such a low 3d8
with
plus
the-
5 roll. Yeah, that's the full. Yeah, the air just like buffets it directly in the eye. And that's it.
It like teeters for a second in the air, like does a weird spin, but rights itself. As the other one is going to go. It is. Yeah, this one's going to do a flyby, so it's going to pop into Agatha, hit him with the stinger and the claws, and then fly out without provoking an attack because it's fast. But it's going to miss you twice because I rolled bad. These things aren't that strong, to be honest. That's going to be its turn. The Dracon. And it's going to hit Zed with its tail. This cannot quite get close enough to bite.
That hits. It takes 15 cold damage
It does.
as the armor blasted.
It's going to be Roscoe's turn. Roscoe, slow to react to everything that's happening on the battlefield. But your companions are now somewhat surrounded by a variety of different monsters native to this area.
Roscoe is having been kind of like spun around by the claws of the Garm in front of him and seeing that it's kind of currently harrying not only him but also Silas, and Asta is going to like cock back an arm. The cylinder is going to spin in it and then go in for a punch with what looks to be some type of almost like dripping neon green, like it could be poison or just some type of liquid almost seems to crystallize around the knuckles as I'm setting the arms to acid.
Nice.
And I use my bonus action to trance.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Reckless attack. Let's see if this rolls correctly.
That's going to hit.
Okay. So that's 9 points of bludgeoning damage, and then I guess I didn't roll. Did it roll?
Yeah, I
advantage?
rolled a d4.
Or did it roll advantage?
It did not roll.
Yeah, you had double eights. I thought you did.
No, it outputted twice.
No,
but it
it's
didn't
the
roll.
bug where it's
Oh.
happening twice.
That's right.
Just to see if I get a. I'm just gonna do this. Second hit. It's like
Yeah, it's going to hit.
yep, a lot.
Oh, you rolled 2d20. I think you were doing this last time. I didn't realize for a while. That's a hit.
So the 10 is actually a 12 because it didn't include the trance damage bonus, so that's 29 points of damage to the Garm.
Yes, it is bloodied as it takes these, or it would be, but it's actually an uncanny dodge. The second damage.
Okay. And then Roscoe is going to like skirt past Asta and get on like the other side to try to position himself closest to as many of like the monsters as possible without leaving this thing's range.
I did just use its reaction.
Oh no, just trying
sure,
to make
sure.
it to where he's like the closest target for a lot of things.
Back to top with Agatha.
Cool beans. Okay. So for the sake of sneak attack, once again, is Zed within like the correct distance for that? I cannot see the grids.
Yeah,
I'm
I
fine
can
with
make
it.
them a little bit darker.
Word. Okay. So now this thing has just taken a nice little swipe at Agatha, and Agatha, returning the favor, pulls out the rusty, crusty, antique rapier that she stole from her father's collection or her grandfather's collection, and is going to take a swipe at the wolf in front of her. There we go. Why are we auto rolling damage? I'm gonna take it that a 26 hits. And then that's also going to be a booming blade attack.
Yep. And then also, there you go. Need to add the sneak attack damage on top of that. So we'll do 13, 23, 29 again. And Agatha is going to then sort of like shuffle a few. She like not even looking backwards. Skips a few steps back into this little gnarled patch of vines. And can I bonus action hide here? Yeah.
Like just get in. Cool.
Like strength saving throw.
Yay! Yeah. No.
I love your dice. Those are so good.
Thanks. I have never known a character better than I know Agatha.
So it's 39? Is that right? Am I understanding?
29 damage total, yeah.
Yes,
It's 13. Yeah. 13 for the rapier, another 10 for
Yeah.
sneak attack, and then another 6
That's
for
6 for-
extra booming blade. And it could be more if it moves.
Well, it's
If
not
it
next to anybody except for Zed, so we'll see. Yes, it is looking very wounded as you just like stab it in the side, like it makes out a horrid yelping sound. But it's not its turn yet. It's going to be this one. We'll just move in to attack Roscoe. Doesn't get a pounce.
It has advantage.
Cool. It will use that to bite you, probably. They hit the advantage button. For 6 points of damage. Not a lot. All that. Oh.
The inevitable slow torturing of a barbarian.
Sorry, that should be. It should be 9. It's doing something weird to their sheets.
It's considering them not proficient. Why is it? It's weird.
It's taking out -3 for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what happens when I'm lazy and I use another sheet as like a base and then I don't edit it. Just editing the stats to make it different. That's gonna be its turn. Other one. Yeah, sure. It will move to go to attack you. That extra damage for me.
Actually, somehow the less damage it could take from a choice. So.
It is still up.
And presumably it does have disadvantage on this hit because I'm hidden.
Oh, I forgot about that. You know what? I'm sorry. It actually doesn't move.
That's fair. That's, I think, probably the correct decision.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot that you hid there for a second. It's gonna attack Zed. Zed, you can
That
take
sees the world
a
where
bite attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
that makes
The evil eyes are gonna go.
But if it does move before my next turn, it's taking 10 damage.
It's going to move over. Use its rotting gaze on Silas again. That's a good one. I need to make a con save.
The strong 4d6 roll. Silas is a tanky old man.
It's
Yeah.
taking its second. Let's see how it goes. Nope.
I need
I
you
didn't mean to hit the second button. I was trying to click the. I was trying to click the making sure the bless applied. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
Jesus, dog, shut up.
I do need you to make a concentration save.
Yeah.
Bless does stay up. But you take 20 points of damage, necrotic damage, as the magic in this creature's eye, I feel like it's breaking down your body almost. That's turn. This Garm, which is kind of surrounded, but did take a big punch from Roscoe, is going to attempt to bite back. Missing, and then it's going to be Asta's turn.
Okay. This creature's right on me. I'm going to.
Just grenade Roscoe, it's fine.
It's fine, right?
I can take it.
No. I am going to just do a little. Let's see. I'm here. Okay. I am going to just pull out my hammer and bonk it.
That'll hit.
5 whole damage. Max damage. Hell
Does make it bloodied.
yeah. And then I'm going to bonus action to use weapon attack. Bonus action, I will yeet a what do I want to do? We'll just do a good old grenade over at these two. So they both get to make a saving throw.
Yes. They're
Pretty
both
shit
pretty
damage,
dexterous. Okay, the Dracon fails. The Garm succeeds, but he'll still take half.
Rolled a 2, a 3, and a 1 on my damage dice.
Which I think, does not bring him down. Because he doesn't take the but does
That's my
do a fair bit to the Dracon. It's going to be Silas's turn.
Bonus action. Still reaches for that rifle as he's casting spiritual weapon and is just holding it like this. This unloaded rifle is holding it by the barrel, and the spiritual weapon appears in place next to the Garm that Agatha had tagged with Booming Blade. And is going to hit that one. Maybe we're gonna hit that one. Did that one take the hit from the grenade? I'm now seeing the like AoE
Yes.
thing on it. Okay. If it's taken a full grenade hit, then I'm gonna tag the one next to me and Asta instead.
All right.
I'm gonna wait on that to pop into place, and then can I get the template or the token because the template isn't movable?
Yes. What does this look like again?
It is literally an echo of the rifle that he is holding that he has just tapped against his boot. And it just swings out. Because his previous spiritual weapon was a ruler. and not meant to really inflict that much damage, and that felt a little out of place. It was for dueling and practice classes. It was literally just meant as a
Silly.
This man still has a stapler in his jacket. He's not a serious man. Did it ever roll? Did it ever pop into place? Did it just not attack roll?
I didn't. see
It
one.
never attack rolls on spiritual weapon. It only for whatever reason.
Did the damage roll output for you, Andrew?
Yeah,
Or
I
the
did.
attack roll?
It's the 12. Sorry, I'm just trying to make the thing real quick.
Okay.
For some reason, my brain's not working.
You're fine.
There's equipment, weapons.
I'll make the token. I'm fine with the generic token. Just
Yeah,
at some
yeah.
point
No,
he'll probably
I just
change
have to
it.
find this one thing where I do it once. So that's fine.
I can also do like a
That
just
didn't
drawing like it's
show out how it should be.
Silas calls out over to Agatha because I suspect that he knows what Agatha was just trying to do initially with the booming blade and the pull. And he calls out kind of mildly. He says, "While I'd prefer you not take any hits, they have to be able to see you to follow you, dear."
And then somewhere from a tangle of vines that you can't quite make out like where in the vines it's from, she goes, "It's not my fault. I'm so good at this."
All right, Zed. It's your turn.
I will also
Zed-
roll the dead. I was just waiting on the damage. What the damage did?
Yeah. It's still out. You were attacking this one, right?
Yeah, the one near me.
Yeah, it's still. My bad.
I'll tell the one near Zed since I imagine it's pretty hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, did you update that roll? Because it gave me the choice between.
I didn't touch it though.
Yeah, it gave me a choice of rolling damage for a thing against a non-wounded versus a wounded. Ah, it's wise.
I think it always has done that for when if I
it
recall when I had it.
didn't. Yeah.
That does kill it.
Yep.
That's exactly enough, actually.
Didn't it save?
Down.
Yeah, it doesn't take damage on a
Oh,
save.
I'm dumb. I did have damage.
Also, I feel like you maybe didn't give it the 10 damage back that it took before. Oh no,
I
it took the
did.
grenade damage.
It took the grenade damage.
Yeah. All right, fine. I'll kill it. I'll deal with this thing, I suppose. Zed just kind of looks at it, turns an eye to the dragon's tail, and just kind of steps away from it. But staying in the dragon's range, presumably.
Yeah. It'll throw a bite on you.
Oh, that hits for an annoying amount. It dies because it takes 15 damage, but I
Oh, yeah.
lose my armor bag at this.
It definitely isn't smart enough for that. Drakon might have.
Zed steps back, kind of lets the magic flow out of him into it, but still is grimacing from the blow. Looks around, and I'm gonna cast slow. Give me a template, please. Picking all the enemies. because it's her choice.
Yeah.
Excellent. Lovely.
Just also for no reason get Roscoe, just so he knows what it feels like.
Okay, so the Evil Eye and the Garm, one of the Garms succeeds. I'm gonna say it's the middle two. So these two fail, which is probably the best.
Yeah, I think that's a good outcome for me. I will then Zed feeling the magic kind of permeate or that spirit, the winged spirit, send another arrow at the Evil Eye. Well, that is a better roll.
Yes, it is bloodied as again it like does a tailspin, almost hitting the wet ground right here before righting itself, and then locking eyes now more focused on you, moving away from its attacks on Silas.
And then I am going to kind of duck over here to like be less clumped up.
Yep.
Zed doesn't believe in being in clumps.
This Evil Eye is going to move. Doesn't know that Agatha's there. It's also flying. Here. And then do it's gonna hit Roscoe with Rotting Gaze. Or attempts to, anyways.
Uncalled for.
6. I need you to make a con save. Oh, actually, it will damage you. You'll take 12 points of necrotic damage.
That's very funny.
The Drakon is slowed. So acid breath. Oh, what? You're not going to give me a thing? Actually, I don't know if they can reach the targets it wants to reach.
Cool.
Well, Zed, it's just you.
Okay, I guess that's fine. I'd rather it hit just me than everybody. Dex save.
They can't move, or is its movement half?
Yeah, it can move. Its move is.
I'm forgetting how this works.
Yeah, speed is halved.
Okay.
So not me.
You bastard. Things.
Zed's anti-clumping technique has worked.
Yeah, it can get here. It's gonna hit Silas and Asta.
Silas drops.
So you're gonna take half. Silas drops. Man, you're squishy.
I got 40 HP, man. I don't know what to expect.
Silas has been
Okay.
targeted by everything.
Yes, a lot of things have hit you.
I only 2 things have hit
See,
me.
that's not
A
true.
lot of
You've
things-
been hit twice. It's just that Evil Eye
Big
rolled
enough
really,
good to
really
hit.
well. And then the breath is for a lot. All right, that's gonna be the Dracon's turn. Roscoe, you all bless drops. You're
Yeah, I
all
was
no
trying to
longer
make it
blessed.
automatically drop, but it did not, because of course the second roll was great.
Do you think you can hit the
Huh.
break
You
concentration?
can just hit break concentration. Right?
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
It's,
How is the Garm like below me looking?
It's pretty messed up.
Okay.
It's-
I will.
It's been bloodied, I think, for a while.
I will use my bonus action to expend the acid aetheryte. As like it looks like, even though it's metallic, the arms light up, and it almost looks like a more mechanicalized, like kind of like vein pattern go up the arms, but they're like glowing green. As I'm going to try and hit the Garm below me with a reckless attack. That's 14.
That misses just barely.
Gosh dang it, Silas! Why did you have to drop bless?
Why did you have to go down? That one.
That
Well,
hit.
yeah.
For 19
And
points of damage.
that will kill it.
Yeah, just like burns the hole through like part of its like side.
The smell of crisping fur and mixes with the natural acridity of the acid, and it wafts through the air.
And then if I move my movement down here to Silas, can I shift Silas like behind me? Like drag, like quickly kind of just like drag and pull behind?
Sure. Yeah, you could do that.
Then yeah, I'll head down and then swap places with... I tried to avoid that. I tried to avoid it. There you go. But
You
it will
will
take
get
a opportunity attack.
quick chomp on you. No, I rolled a lot of twos today.
It has advantage.
Which
You're right.
which Garm was slowed?
The one.
Oh, that one. Yeah. So it doesn't.
Does that mean that the so the one that's still up is the slowed one?
Yeah. Thank you for the ring.
Because I was going to say I think otherwise Roscoe hit the other one because its AC was too low. So,
Yeah. Roscoe's attacking this one, which was not slowed.
Yeah.
Okay, so it has no reaction.
Yeah.
Then I have to get up in the Dracon's like face.
Okay.
Hopefully
If,
that's a good target.
Silas has just gone down. Although it seems like everyone else is still up. These creatures can pack a punch. What are you doing?
She screeches, but is going to. Which one took Silas down?
The Dracon.
The Dracon. Okay. Can I scramble up the cliff face?
Yeah, that's fine. I think it'll be
Cool.
most of your movement to get to the top. But you can
That is so chill. We'll pop up here. We'll post up. Bonus action hide behind the root here. And then is going to point at the Drakon and is going to again cast Firebolt. So I'll do the bonus action hide to confirm sneak attack real quick.
So good at this.
Well,
I'm just so good at this.
You kind of trip over. I think you're like scrambling up, and it's crack a branch in the process.
Devastating. Well, okay, so I don't get advantage, but
absolutely-
he's still. But the dragon
sneak
is
attack.
still at least within 5 feet of allies. So, we're just not
You
getting that nice
absolutely
little
hear the
extra
Paytech
help.
Silas saying, "Pride goeth."
So that's the initial firebolt, just a 21 hit.
Yeah.
Okay, 11 damage, expending the amateur's intuition again.
Ooh.
For the sneak attack damage. So that's
That's a good sneak
27
attack.
total.
Yeah, it is not like that as it slowly cranes its head towards you to screech out.
And I think she gives a little wave and then flips it off. You know how monsters know what that means.
Mhm. This card's gonna move up to attack Asta.
Yeah.
Fight.
Yes.
Missing. The evil
Barely.
eye. It's gonna go. It's gonna strafe. It's gonna strafe around and actually use its evil eye on Zed. Or sorry, it's rotting gaze.
I assume this isn't a spell for the effect of slow. Can't say. I save. The closest of saves.
This one also, I think, is slow.
This one's it succeeded, but I meant to ask for the acid breath before, but I assume that monster creatures aren't spells. So.
No.
But it's no damage on save, right?
Yeah, no damage to save. Asta, let me your turn.
All right. How's this one looking?
This one has taken very little damage. But it
The one
is slowed. You're talking about the one up against you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is slowed.
Okay.
So it can't react if you want to just
Okay,
move
yeah.
away.
Yes. No, I'll shock and grasp it and then I'll go away. It's 17 hit?
17 does it.
Okay.
Especially with
8.
slow AC.
Lightning damage. And then I will run let me move.
You're on the ruler
You're the
tool.
ruler. Yeah, you got to switch to the top.
I wasn't on
of
ruler.
control.
It's not letting me move.
Are you on person and the square at the top of the left?
Yeah, Maddie, it won't let you cut the corner of the enemy. You have to like
Oh.
physically move
I
around it.
see. There we go.
Nice. Okay, that's cool.
Like, just let me leave. Kind of behind that tree stump. So that's my action, movement, and bonus action I cannot do.
Yep.
So I'm done.
Andrew,
Silas.
Can I
Yes.
argue that since I have a higher dex than Silas, I should be allowed to go before Silas?
You can argue that, but we have been using this initiative.
Outrageous. That's
So,
fine. Silas, I'm going to leave you to die then.
All right.
Sorry, I will set it up so it has the tiebreakers. Normally it's not that big.
It's fine.
All right. Saving throws. Does it not just roll it? What do I have to click to make it roll it? There we go. Nope. Okay, whatever. It's rolling the d20 then.
If you hit the little death icon next to you,
No, it
does-
just gives me the trackers. The acid on Silas's cloak steams a little bit.
Alright, that's one fail. Zed.
Man, this one evil eye is really bothering me.
I mean, it is drooping down. You hit it twice now.
It's just the nature and how I want to attack it. That's the. I will bonus action. Zed brings up the big wings of the zoo and a white wind every for 4 points of healing, including Silas.
Silas wheezes, continues.
You're just
speak
going to go down
slightly
again. That's
rapidly.
all. It's,
Yeah.
less
Oh, it's
than
a
four.
it's a good move because it gives everyone a little bit something,
Yeah.
but it keeps me from right now, which I appreciate.
And then I will upcast Zed's coiled puppet strings kind of grow for a moment, and 2 of them lash out, and I'm going to upcast Tasha's targeting the evil eye near me and the Dracon. 3rd level consumes full slot. And it's an intelligence save. They're within 30 feet of each other, right? Yes, just.
Yes, just
I
barely.
kind of just assumed it was fine, but it basically does the one action part of slow if it fails. So,
but both of them you make the
yep.
Unrelated. This is a very pretty map.
success fail.
Wow.
The
Duality.
Dracon
Yeah,
fails.
went the
evil
opposite
eye
way.
Succeeds.
So 11 damage to the Dracon, and don't worry about extra stuff it does because it is already affected by something that does all of that.
Yeah.
And 5 for the evil eye.
Evil eye just evilly managing to stay alive.
And then I'm going to kind of move down this way and finally attach the puppet to my cords, so I actually have a melee weapon for if something leaves my reach.
This evil eye is actually going to go over here, kind of flapping its wings up to rotting gaze Agatha.
Con save? Cool.
Yeah. Thought that was going to be a 1 again. You don't take anything. You managed to resist it.
Yeah, and in fact, she returns a rotting gaze of her own.
Sir. The Dracon
Secret
is
second blue
going
mage.
to attempt to use its bite on Roscoe. Missing. Yeah, missing.
Just slow, not let it have advantage.
Oh, you reckless. Sorry. I
Yeah.
keep forgetting about that. Thank you for reminding me and being honest. I think that's... Does that hit?
It hits.
You take 17. The 44 is acid. So the 10...
So
Sorry.
12.
Yeah. And then it's going to be your turn, because that's all I can do.
Bringing an arm up to try to block like the bite. Bonus action, the arm surges with lightning and is gonna just do an uppercut into its gut.
Nice.
Reckless attack.
It really hovered on that 20.
Yep. That's 16.
That's hit.
Okay. Seventeen points of damage.
It's looking pretty wounded. Still,
Second hit.
that's gonna hit.
The bunch of stuff.
3. Right?
For 11 more points of damage.
That's right. But still,
That'll be my turn.
right. Agatha.
Oh,
Oh, yes, sorry.
sorry. It should be getting saves at the end of its turn for slow. I
Oh.
just reread it.
That's fine.
It's an end of turn save.
Wisdom save.
Yeah. Just might bite Roscoe again.
Fail.
That fails.
Agatha.
Okay. So Agatha like briefly glances at the flying evil, ugly, whatever it is exactly what she says to herself. And like rolls her eyes at it as hard as she can. Is going to attempt to bonus action hide again behind that root. Not from it. She doesn't care about it. Cool. And is going to do exactly what she did last turn, except now with an advantage onto the Drakon.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Just for sanity's sake. 6, and then my last amateur is intuition for that last little bit of sneak attack.
Yep.
Because how dare it hit my favorite teacher? I'll kill it. So that's only 17 damage then.
It's not quite enough. Almost. It is still up, although it's like half crashed on the ground, like, you know, head slowly moving, barely hanging on. Yeah. No.
And that's the whole turn.
That firebolt had been a little bit better. All right, the Garm slowed. Roscoe brought down its buddy. It's just going to kind of step over Silas, who it kind of thinks is still dead.
Yeah, Silas goes very, very still. He had been kind of rolling his head around, kind of keep an eye on, like, try to figure out what the battlefield looked like in the few seconds he'd been out.
Fight,
But now he's like
Roscoe
frozen.
for 12. That's turn. Yeah, the evil eye is going to look at Zed and potentially hurt you.
We're literally just 1v1ing each other at this point.
It's pretty good. 46.
I failed.
You take 18 points of necrotic damage.
Let me do my concentration thing. Slow stays. 18 necrotic damage.
Yep. And it's going to be Ass's turn again.
Right. I'm going to Scorching Ray.
Are you just about bloodied?
Yep. This is pretty annoying.
So I'm gonna do 1 on this guy, and 1 on this guy, and 1 on this guy, the Drakon.
Give me the other 2 attack rolls, please.
Jeez. Okay.
So we'll say the evil eye hits 6. The Garm misses. Oh no, it hits because it's slowed.
Crit.
All right. The Drakon dies. How do you want to kill it?
It's fire, so just scorch the skin from its wings so it crashes to the ground.
Okay, big chunks go up and it just lands in a heap, dead. Did you want to move?
I'll move just like a little bit. Kind of move this way.
It's going to be Silas's turn.
Cool. How bad does the Garm next to me look?
It's taking little damage.
Okay.
And a bunch of
Uh,
like small extra effects, I think. Somebody's really like punched it.
Because the text is spiritual weapon, it's not a concentration. I'm assuming it's still
Yeah,
up because it's a timed
still
base
up.
spell.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that spiritual weapon moves to this other side of the Garm. Oh, do I have to use the bonus action to move it? I might leave it there and just heal. Hold on 1 second.
I think it
You
can
do
move
have to
and attack.
use,
Yeah,
on the
but you
bonus
have
action.
to use your bonus action to do that. That's correct.
Yeah.
well, I'll use it, and I will use like cure wounds on myself instead of the bonus action heal. So yeah, I hit that with a spiritual weapon, and it's like Silas has not even gotten up yet. Silas just kind of rolls that tilts and directs the magic while still on the ground and actually kind of moving as like minimally as possible. Where did the pop for it go? Right. Then I'll cure wounds on myself, and then I will stand up.
Good cure wounds. Yeah, you managed to heal a lot of your damage.
And cure wounds. What cure wounds looks like is there's a shimmer, and for a moment, I think Roscoe is the only one close enough to see this. But you know, first off, the necrotic damage and the acid burns wipe away. But for just like a moment, you see somebody 20, 30 years younger in Silas's place, trimmer, right? Hair much neater, but much longer. You even see like the clothing briefly changes to something that looks like a noble servant's garb. And that person is in Silas's place for just a moment, 20 years younger, and then Silas stands up, the same old man.
Little Lindy Zenster.
I really wanted to kill this thing and then use Rotting Gaze immediately on something, but I don't think I can do it without using arrows. So I will, I guess, just look up at it. And Zed's like been doing the calculation of how this 1v1 is going between Evil Eye, and he just summons the bird again and blasts arrow directly up into it, hopefully. I think that misses, right? Because it's 15.
Yes, it is 15.
It wouldn't even have killed it anyway. It's a terrible roll. Ugh. He like grumbles to himself as he lashes out with it looks like he's lashing out with the actual on it. That's also a bad 3d6 roll.
Fails.
It takes 8.
That's fine. If you want to
And
hit, what level's that guy said?
no, first level. So it doesn't. It's not up cost. I don't have any third levels.
Gotcha.
So just one target.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of move up to get a better view of what other people are while I consider how to do 4 more damage to this thing.
The other
What the
Evil
efficient
Eye,
way is.
It's just gonna hit Agatha again. $15. And that's gonna be Roscoe's turn.
I'm gonna uncanny dodge that.
I think Uncanny Dodge
Oh, is
has
that
to be an
only-
attack roll. I
Yeah,
could be
he's
wrong.
only-
Let me double
I
check
think it's
that.
only Dex.
No. The uncanny dodge is definitely attack rolls.
Oh yeah, it is only attack
What
rolls.
am I thinking of?
You're thinking of evasion.
Evasion.
Yeah. Which is just automatic.
Roscoe will burn the lightning etherite in his arms
Yeah.
and is going to continue to recklessly attack these things.
And it's oh wow, those are some interesting dice. And I don't think you never asked about it, but I don't think my attack roll ever triggered for the Garm.
Oh, for what? For spiritual weapon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Took a screenshot of what my
Can you do the attack? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying again now.
Say good 2d4 roll.
Yep. 19. It's bloodied. Actually, more bloodied. That'll hit. I don't think I took the 8 off either. So.
Yeah.
And Roscoe, if you want to make your second attack.
Yeah.
Flirting with crits,
Yeah.
but just hit it.
Yep. $19 again.
19. All right. This one is also at the brink, the edge of death, equally as hurt as this evil eye, proportionally, but not quite down yet. As we go back up to the top with Agatha. Several of the creatures have gone down, but the only one that's still healthy is this evil eye that's attacking you.
Great. And is it just with the lay of the map? Is there a way that I can get into melee with it, or is it like hovering, like over an open space?
If you get up to it, it's kind of hovering level with you on the cliff.
Okay, sick. So I can just go. I'm on the edge here. I'm on the edge, and take a stab at it with a booming blade.
Yes.
Great. I don't think there's a way that I can get sneak attack on that, but this is precarious.
That will hit though.
It will hit. And we'll throw the extra booming blade on top of that. And some just horseshit damage. And we'll take advantage of does that need to be great. Yes, we'll take advantage of misdirecting blast, and as that little rapier whip smacks it like right on its stupid face. She's going to like dodge back. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20. Over to this conglomerate of plants over here. And I've not bonus actioned yet, so I am going to try to bonus action. No, I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to try to like goad it into following me. There's no bonus action associated with that. I just am a teenager.
Sure.
Neener nee.
Exactly. You get it.
Kind of cycle one to roll. It's like weirdly like a weird sort of deception-y thing, I guess. No.
Roll
No, I don't wanna
annoyance.
I don't want to roll. This Garm is going to go ahead and attempt to, if it can, finally bring Roscoe down, which it can't, but it's going to attempt hitting you for 8 points of damage, reduced to 4. This nearly dead evil eye.
I'm enjoying this game.
It's gonna
who
move.
can do 48 or 49
Oh, wait.
damage first.
Yeah, it's gonna move and then stinger you. Attempt.
What?
Missing.
Yeah.
It does miss.
The stinger potentially it's more reliable, but that's for Asta in terms of damage.
That Scorching was pretty effective. I'm gonna just do that again. So I'll do one on each of them again. One.
I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
That one takes 8.
Asta, don't. I set you on fire while you sleep.
That one dies. The Garm. Actually, maybe
Okay.
potentially the perfect use of this spell.
And last one.
And that one dies.
Hit damage. Okay, that's my turn.
Can I energy ray Asta on my turn? Is that legal, even with 25 hit points? Can I anger limit break
Yeah.
Asta?
Why?
Because I've been fighting that thing 1-on-1 the whole time.
Oh, okay.
Didn't respect the
Silence.
1v1.
It's your turn. It's
Stop
just
it
the
behind a
one,
tree.
one remaining evil eye.
Oh, that is a good point. It is kind of behind a tree.
It's fine.
Yeah, I am going to I'm just gonna toll the dead on it, I think. Just everybody's focus is on it now. Man, these things are wise.
Super wise. The most wise.
And I think you see Silas glances at Roscoe for a moment and then cranes his neck around towards where, as you might have suggested, a little bit, Agatha is not hiding, and he will invigorate. So take 9. And the form of encouragement is in that I don't want to see you get hurt, but
Heal 9.
will
Not
then
take
be
9, right?
Zed's
yeah,
turn.
take 9
Okay.
HP.
Wait, is it a? Is that temp or is
Yeah,
it?
it's still temp.
Okay.
It's
word.
still temp. Yeah. Let's take 9 because it's you're not really healing.
Out of curiosity, did I have to be the one to kill it to get the blue magic?
No. I wouldn't be that
Okay,
cruel.
that's fine. That's what I would have done.
Yeah,
Because I
no.
think it's funny. Because I've played Final Fantasy 9. I will, I guess, just. This is a walk-upable ramp. I
Yeah.
assume.
That is like where
Wait,
you were.
what happened? Why am I over
You
here
got moved.
suddenly?
Weirdly, I don't know.
I don't know. I thought that happened when you were doing with the HP stuff.
Nope, that was not on purpose.
I didn't touch it.
Cool.
I will use Hypnic Jerk on it, so it just for a moment feels like it's falling as Zed rips his hand down as if to pull it out of the sky.
Oh,
It's a wisdom
hateful
save.
spell. That's a good one. That's awful.
Failing. So
Yeah.
we'll take that.
And then can I use Rotting Gaze on the evil eye now that the other one's dead?
Sure.
I think Zed knows that this won't work, but quite enjoys won't work well. But he feels the spirit of the thing he just fought for 30 seconds appear behind him and direct its gaze towards this one. I don't have it obviously, but it's 46 necrotic or
Yeah.
36.
What, your save is 16?
Yep.
Failing, barely. It is resistance to this, but that is still enough to kill it.
Yeah. Just for a moment, the two spirits like twirl together as it falls.
And combat ends as we see after a few moments, you all kind of picking yourself up. The ether begins to leave these creatures, revealing the corpses of what seems to be three wolf-like animals, a pair of bats, and a large snake.
Interesting.
That's unusual.
Are we going to
Good.
break before?
Yes, and we're going to take a quick break. We'll take 15. Don't go anywhere.
Be right back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second half of the third session. So, you guys have just defeated all these monsters. Again, they're kind of the magic around them. The aether has begun to disperse back into the ambient form, leaving behind the corpses of a variety of different animals. But you can continue on your trek otherwise.
Are any of these animals
uh,
edible animals?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Roscoe was going to ask, like,
Um,
Can
you
I
eat these?
roll nature?
yeah, go ahead.
I think Zed kind of looks over them. And he kind of zeroes in on the snake. He's also thinking about the fact that these have transformed into monsters, but that's a thing for later Zed to deal with.
Can I make an Arcana check on
22.
these guys?
Yes. Sorry, you said 22.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes. So, edible. Yes, all of this is edible.
Okay.
I mean, it's two of them are like two bats, right? So it's not a lot of food.
No. Only Zed's only really interested in the snake because
yes.
that's a big snake.
The wolf-like creatures are also edible, but again, maybe stringy. The snake looks like it's like a boa type, so it's big. There's lots of meats on it. That's not true, actually. Sorry, it is like a
Viper?
yeah, of some kind. I was gonna say a cobra or something like that. I was trying to think of a larger snake, but it does have some venom. So it is, but it's edible. You're probably just gonna have to be careful around how you're preparing it and that kind of stuff, especially around the fangs. Probably don't want to eat any part of near the head, but you could definitely like fillet it if you wanted to. Asta, so some monsters are. It's your understanding from what you know of these things. You're not like a experienced monster hunter or anything like that. You don't work like with the freelancer guilds. But it's your understanding that this is not out of the ordinary per se. Some monsters are like just essentially aether, mana, arcana, whatever term people want to use. Particularly like elementals and sprites and stuff like that. Usually the more esoteric ones, not always. A lot of the more humanoid-looking monsters as well tend to just be pure ether, unless they're like undead types. But although slightly rarer, it is not unheard of for animals to become either animal corpses or living animals at times in like very high ether environments to turn into monsters like this.
Got it. So nothing out of the ordinary in terms of them being like this. It's not like someone knew we were here, set them on us.
It's still unusual, but it's not like it's not like unheard of.
Yeah. Okay.
While the Empire has been known at times to use captured monsters, it is not common practice either.
Zed is directing Roscoe to saying we can eat basically the back 2/3 of this. You want to stay away from the head. And kind of looks at Roscoe and be like, you have like a sword or a knife?
Roscoe looks down at its person.
Offer up a dagger. I think that's fair to say.
Silas will offer up a very
I was-
very robust letter opener.
If someone hadn't offered a knife, Roscoe was just going to take the snake and just grab it at a certain point and then just deglove with the hand,
Like a rabbit skin.
pretty much.
That doesn't help with cutting. We don't need to. Zed like looks at the proper knives, the dagger against the speak snake, and it's like just to Roscoe to like the point at which he should cut it for ease of transport. It's not the skinning that he's worried about. He's just like the
Roscoe is curious, looking over at one of the wolves. Did any of the damage when they were transformed transfer over to these animals, or do these animals look fairly pristine but just like dead?
They look fairly pristine but dead. If there was damage that carried over, it's certainly not 1-to-1.
So like the one that Roscoe melted a hole through doesn't just have a massive arm hole in it.
Right, because it's not like, it's almost like the creatures were wearing the ether. It's not like a werewolf type situation, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do we want to get one of these?
If
wolves
Zed
too?
notices Roscoe, no, don't eat wolves. When you have snake, you don't need to eat wolves. And the meat won't last long enough, and we don't have enough salt. But if Zed notices Roscoe like looking over the damage, and Asta like looking at stuff, he'll like start talking about how monsters like are kind of always ether, and that's how he can summon them. Like they come from something, but the ether is the bit that becomes the bad. But they're not bad because they're monstrous. They're not. But he will kind of be talking about that as he watches Roscoe work more absently than anything.
Yeah, you also would
anything,
you would note, this is just, if anybody's curious, monsters very rarely fight each other as well, right? They only fight like animals or humans or stuff like that.
Roscoe doesn't say anything when told, like, oh, it's fine, we got the snake. And he looks at the size of the snake, and he looks at the gathered group of people, and thinks to himself that he does have a strict 2,500 calorie diet to maintain his physique. Doesn't say anything.
It's a pretty hefty snake.
Big snake.
Yeah, it's definitely not
Also-
going to last
also
more than
since there's
like
a-
one meal between the 5 of you. But
It's like, and I can try and cook it, but if anybody else is more skilled in that area,
Serviceable. I cook for myself. Is there any chance we can harvest the venom for those of us working with bladed weapons? Specifically, Agatha.
50-50 shot for me. If I will cook it, it will be edible or explosive. So I better not.
do any of you
Those
are
odds
any of
are
you actually good at survival?
unfathomable.
I'm decent.
I have jack of all trades, so I have a flat roll, and I will.
Yeah,
Please
that's
stop disparaging my survival roll.
I +4.
Roscoe having cut where Zed told him to at Silas asking about the venom, will shrug, and then we'll just, like tossing like a casual item, we'll just toss you the snake head.
Hmm.
Silas is not going to try to catch it. Silas is just going to move immediately out of the way.
I was gonna say, it just hit your chest and just like a splat.
That impact's probably not good for the venom if you do want to try and extract it.
You can make me a survival check.
12.
Here's the problem. What are you going to put it in?
I have one inkwell from my office.
So you dump out the ink.
I mean, I'd be happy to replace the ink with the venom. I mean, it's ink.
Okay. You wash the inkwell out in this little like puddle here for a second, and then with a 12, you're able to get like you kind of like put the things up against the thing and kind of just squeeze out as best you can. You have like a dose of this venom. You're not sure how long it's going to last or anything like that, and it is just normal spider venom.
Yep, that's
You can
fine.
mark that down on your inventory.
Silas wraps the inkwell before tucking it away. Does not yet give it to Agatha.
How long does that take?
Couple minutes.
Said
But it's also something they could do
Is-
other than washing out the thing. They could do that while walking. Just discard the head.
Zed like begins to lead the party off to find somewhere to camp.
You continue onward. The sun is getting quite low. Dusky air, slowly turning to night by the time you find a place to camp. You can kind of see from certain points when like there's a break in the trees where this battlefield is or was rather. There are still some remnants of things here and there. The battle was months ago now. There's still some remnants of things here and there, like odd bits of like Magitech that were kind of just left, probably to be collected at some point whenever they get around to clearing out the battlefield of monsters and everything like that. But you're about like a half a day, quarter day's journey away from that spot. When you begin to set up, make camp, light a fire so that you can roast these the snake fillets. I think the only way you have to cook them is like on sticks over fire, based off of the fact that none of you
What
do anything.
what stat is cooking based on?
Usually dex, but I'd probably allow wisdom.
Great.
Like just a dex or wisdom check.
Unless you have cook's tools.
So Silas will shrug and say, I make no guarantees, but I've cooked for myself recently. Not over a fire and not snake.
Zed was like about to start threading snake onto stuff. Just like opposite to you to do. It's like I can cook to an extent, but not well enough that I like eating my cooking.
Well, we'll see. And yeah, so Silas will settle
But,
in.
but I'll help you do it if that
Yeah, I mean, if you are able to
makes
help.
it easier.
Yeah, I don't have a skill in it, but I have +4, so.
Well, my skill
Still
is
better than
that I'm
-1.
Yep.
Or flat.
Oh, nope, it's not gonna go well.
You guys like sharpen some sticks, shave off the bark and whatnot, skewer the meat on them, and by the time they come out, they're a little bit burnt, but you suppose that's better than being undercooked. There's not a lot of flavor to them, but it is food. It is cooked meat. It is
Roscoe would have held off.
unseasoned cooked meat. Compared to what you were eating yesterday, no matter how poor a fare it might have been, it's a pretty sad meal.
Yeah, Roscoe
There's
would
not a
have
lot
like
of
waited to see
flavor.
what the first few looked like. He kind of like curls his lip a little bit, and Roscoe's gonna try to cook his own. With my -1.
Better.
Still better.
Yeah, you're kind of watching. You're like, okay, I'm gonna. You spend like a lot more time on yours. Like Silence is not quite doing like flame and marshmallow technique, but that's kind of the level that you're working with. Whereas
Flambe.
Roscoe's like really like slowly turning his, and it is better. It's not burnt, but
Ro-
there's not a
Roscoe
ton of flavor to the snake meat by itself.
Roscoe takes his hand and uses like the normal application of like the fire etherite to not like burn it away, and like puts it on top of his fingers to make grill marks.
There you go. You got like the knuckle joints imprinted on the meat.
It's very
Well,
good.
if everyone's cooking their own, can I just also try and cook mine?
Yeah,
I was gonna help
it kind of
Ross- help
seems
I will
what it-
eat the one that Silas makes because I don't want to try to cook it.
I'm considering if I want to try and I was like, what if I use like for my weavers tools, like a thing that like planes leather to make really thin strips, but I don't want to ruin any of my stuff, so I'm just gonna use wisdom.
There's a reason I'm not allowed to do anything on the in the ship's kitchen unless it is fixing something.
Hey,
Zed is good at
he's getting
learning.
better.
Like he's good at
You're-
watching and
Keeps
learning.
getting better.
You're all watching and slightly improving. But again, the problem is that it's just plain snake. There's not a ton of fat on them even. So it's just not that flavorful.
Zed had one piece of
it-
jerky with it, and that
Plenty
is what
filling.
the difference in one is.
Yeah, it's plenty filling.
Well,
Like a little sandwich.
okay, well,
Or to Agatha, who somehow took fruit leather and turned it into a pan sauce.
oh,
In what pan?
flavorless
Yeah,
meat.
that's the problem.
Well, actually, to be fair, a tin. What I do need, I don't need a tent, but I do need a frying pan.
Yep.
Zed is like, okay, well, I think by halfway through tomorrow we'll have made it to the battlefield, but we should certainly have some kind of watches overnight.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I can take first.
I can take the
Zed,
end of the night.
Tend to be an early riser.
Or I'll take mid then.
I don't mind mid. I will heal us
Wouldn't you
before
want-
we
if-
rest.
You're an early riser. Wouldn't you want the last one?
I wouldn't mind, but there is. We should at least switch off mid shifts if for everyone's benefit, because it is no joy to be woken in the middle of the night.
Fair enough.
there is some joy with being woken in the middle of the night, depending on who is doing it.
Silas gives you like the side eye. It's like fair.
Zed checked that Agatha's headphones were in before saying that.
No, it's also the side eye comes in
Sure.
with like you had just like changed the outfit from looking like an absolute teen in Silas's eyes, and I don't think Silas really picked up on the change because wasn't really paying attention to visuals too much, like just having like. And so it was like after this fight where he notices, oh yes, you're actually a grown man.
Zed says, well, Roscoe, you wake me up when you're finished, and I'll do the second watch.
Sounds good.
But I think before everybody's like winding down too much, Zed will he goes to check in on everybody. But I've already spoken to Silas and stuff. But we'll kind of stop by wherever Aster is tinkering on stuff,
Mhm.
and says, "Do you plan to rejoin the Priscillium and stay aboard when they can come pick us up?"
Only if my captain requires it of me. Been working there for some years now, and if we find a new path to take where a mechanic would be helpful, and she gives me the leave, I might take up on that offer.
Zed kind of chuckles and says, "Well,
Majesty.
perhaps it's not the mechanic we need, but the person chosen by an Esper."
Or that. Still don't really even know what happened.
He thinks for a moment. Goes, "I know about many moments from history and magic and nature and things, but Espers have always eluded me. So I am. It's not so different to be told by a creature cracked out of crystal that you are tasked to do a thing to make the world better than it is by the resistance that a job will make the world better." Does
Kinda
your
nods.
airship is the Priscillium? And he like keeps starting the sentence and not finishing it, and then does it fly particularly smoothly?
I would argue for a cargo ship, it flies incredibly smoothly. For a regular airship, I would say not the best ride you've ever had, but not the worst.
He breathes out a sigh at the first half of what you say, and then as you continue, you see like color kind of fade from his face a little bit, and he's
It's a matter of if we have a lot of cargo or not. Right now, we've been unloading in Solus, so it would be a pretty smooth ride without a bunch of cargo on board.
good, excellent.
Aside from the usual,
That's-
turbulence that happens, but we'll be empty,
Mm.
pretty smooth.
Let's pray our time for needing airships is brief. No offense.
None taken.
Then he I think he just probably chats with. He's probably talked to you a little bit in the lead up to stuff, like making contact with you and things. But he anything that you've ever like mentioned, he like asks you questions that are quite like kind and insightful about that. Like if you mentioned that you had hobbies, he'll ask you about something that he's learned about that in the meantime. Before kind of taking his leave.
Yeah.
And we'll
We'll have a
sorry,
nice
go.
conversation. She'll answer most of the things. She's pretty straightforward,
That question is what's the name of the ship? Is it Priscillium?
Priscillium.
Okay, I think I had said I've written down Priscilla for some reason.
It is named after a Priscilla, but it is the Priscillium.
And the captain's name is Holgar, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Just wanna make
Lord
sure that's correct.
Almighty. Okay. Jeez, this cat.
Sorry, yes. Continue until everybody's done.
But yeah, he so yeah, if you're open about stuff here, like if you have any family or anything, or like where you come from, and not with any ulterior motive, just to like
Mhm.
he wants to make sure that people feel like they are
Yeah.
able to talk about stuff and things.
Yeah, you'll learn, parents, younger brother, not dating anybody or anything like that. Mostly has just been working.
Zed asks a lot about your younger brother,
Tinkering.
like what he does, like how how often you get to see him and things like that. You can send me information about your family if you want to later.
Will do.
Um, but yeah, Zed's waiting till Roscoe wakes him up to talk to Roscoe, so I don't have anything else to do before we go to sleep.
I do have one thing that I want to ask
Yes.
the party about essentially before we sleep. I think it's mostly like it's like at campfire as we're finishing up the food sort of moment, and Silas has been sitting contemplatively over his like piece of steak, and he goes to pull out his little ledger, and he reaches for his inkwell and he just tucks it away again. But just like fidgets with the ledger and the pen like he would have written but can't now. And he says, after like some time of doing that,
Zed will toss you a vial of ink that is absolutely like designed for hair. Like it's a dark kind of chestnut brown.
nice.
But he like fishes out of his sleeves.
Yeah, Silas murmurs a thanks and sits with that for quite a bit of time, and then before people start moving off to their not bedrolls, will clear his throat and say, what is, as a seasoned rebel, what is the likelihood, do you think, of my name and person being identifiable enough at this juncture that family would be brought in, as it were?
Did you tell anyone at the Imperial facility your name?
I did not. But likewise, as you have a file on me, it's not entirely unlikely
Oh.
that they have a file on me, I suppose.
Well, how well known are you? Just by look.
Not as much now as I was several years ago, but the nature of my job meant that I was known by a variety of individuals who are now with the Empire.
Rip Dick.
Zed chuckled and says, well, it will be perhaps no solace for you, but if they were interested in identifying you from some kind of captured recording they had of you at the facility and taking that information and doing something against your family, it would have.
Silas kind of nods, says, "Find I have the capacity to send a message. If I sent a message with the expectation that they would be asked questions," and Silas is just going to slide over like the message that he's drafted, and the message that he would send if based on this conversation is drew wrong attention, you may be interrogated. No lies, you know nothing useful. Hold your temper. I won't be able to come for you regardless. In the interest of whatever my father ultimately ends up saying, and keeping him from remaining a bargaining chip. Helpful or harmful?
I think Zed kind of looks at it, shows it to Roscoe, and looks at Roscoe for a moment, and then says, I would lean towards perhaps simply telling your father that your situation changed and you had to leave the city. It's much better that he doesn't know there's anything serious that you're involved in at all. If they do come for him, his obliviousness will serve him well. But the Empire, I don't know. I've never been involved in something that is perhaps as important to them as.
It's better to truthfully not
Can-
know than to be told to not know and really know.
Can I, Andrew, roll history, or potentially just know, like, if the Empire moved into Solomon specifically to deal with this Esper, and they know that the five of us exactly by name, or who we are somehow, are the people involved in it, is there... Zed's instinct is that if the Empire wanted to get they're getting the information from someone that will be a corpse at the end of getting the information. So, can I make it like a history roll to know how true that is about the Empire?
Man, you're cutting out. Is it just
Yeah,
me?
you're cutting out in and out a lot.
Yeah,
I think I got the gist of it.
Yeah.
So the question is like, are they going to kill people in part of the interrogation?
No, it's will they
Yeah.
kill people even if the people are as cooperative as they humanly can? Like, will the Empire just be like, well, we're going to make an example of because you're associated with the person that did something that is like very bad for us?
Right. Not usually, unless
Unless there are other extenuating circumstances to.
yeah, it's not that they wouldn't. They wouldn't do
Justification
it
for it.
without a reason. They wouldn't do it just because, like, oh, like you're associated with bad people, so we're going to take you out.
Okay.
If they were
Zed-
like, you
Zed-
might know something that we don't want getting out, then yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Zed says, the Empire, while violent and ruthless in its borders policy, do not tend to be so violent as they will kill somebody purely by association. If they think that your father knows something that they don't want people to know, then they would perhaps lean towards silencing him, but simply telling him nothing, I think, would be the safest bet.
My concern is that if my father is collected by anybody for any reason, he's going to be an obstinate old goat.
As
Uh,
elders
and-
are.
Yes, and so my intent with the message would be to discourage him from being the obstinate old goat I know him to be.
As far as you know, there's
Tell
no reason
him-
for him to even be one.
Yes, you were, what, a teacher of noble children? Then tell them that one of the children was swept up in the protest and you found yourself on an airship to... Zed picks a random place in the east of the continent.
All right, yeah. So that's what. Yeah. It's Silas pulls back the notepad and keeps like in this like not quite suited for paper ink. Strikes through and rewrites the message, but doesn't immediately send it. He's going to wait for his watch and the quiet of it so that he can listen to the response. Thank you. I appreciate your experiences.
Zed smiled and says, in my experience, deception is more often the correct path to take, particularly if you are trying to shield people you care about. Although, if they wanted to interrogate my father, I'm sure that would be a deeply boring evening.
They got
Silas
mine on
doesn't
too.
say anything, but he tilts his head and kind of like waits in that way of
He's
providing
just
space to expand.
he's just a tragically plain man.
and so you became tragically interesting as a form of rebellion.
I was born tragically interesting. And he does flash a not Zed smile, but like a character from somewhere in the research, which is far more charming than Zed ever really.
Yeah.
But no, my mother is interesting at least and charming. But he kind of shrugs at the idea that people have poor taste and says, either way, I will when we can contact the resistance, I will keep an ear out for any information about Fallout in Saltness for you or Miss. He goes to say Miss Locke and like hates the way it feels immediately and says,
Indeed.
It's
"Oh,
also a secondary possible consolation. I have a feeling if there's a name circulating, it's currently not yours.
Silas looks at you and gives like a deep nod and says, "Point taken. That's quite the dramatic exit from the stage, as it were."
Zayla kind of looks at Roscoe, tilts his head for a moment, and says, I have the utmost faith in the fact that Thrissa, my boss, will collect as many headlines of betrayal as she possibly can.
No, probably should talk to my manager.
Yeah.
Then blinks a little bit, like thinking about the idea that you do actually have a manager.
If that message is urgent, I suppose I could try to work
It's
out a way to send something to somebody I've never met.
it's safer to use encryption too. And he pulls out the used signal sphere that he used to send the information back to the Resistance. The Empire has Magitech and Aetheryte that can do many things, and we are unsure about their ability to intercept mundane spells of messaging.
Yeah.
Though I'm sure
that
your message to your father will be fine. Don't know about Roscoe's contact with his manager.
Also, kind of like strokes his beard a little bit. If you're able to, actually, I might send a message. Do you need me to describe what they look like?
I can take notes on that now. Unless it's a very urgent message, I won't be able to do it tonight. I have the energy left for reaching out to my father and nothing else. But I can try. It's he like taps his head in that way that he's indicated that we have now Esper powers. It's not something that I have practiced before. So tell me more about them, more than how they look.
Roscoe hears you ask, like, "Oh, tell more about them." Not necessarily how they look, but does stop. I think both might be important. Well, they're a Moogle. His name's Mongogo. Pompadour hair. Typically wears vests and such. Very shrewd. Also very sarcastic. Good friend, though. I just want to tell him I'm on sabbatical.
like there's this like long moment where he's waiting for the rest of the message, and he says, I can use more words if you'd like.
That's enough. You'll understand.
Very well. I will attempt it tomorrow evening.
Andrew, can I ask a question about Moogles and likely?
Likely what?
Do most Moogles have hair? Is a Moogle with pompadour hair so anachronistic to Zed that it's gonna like actually break through whatever the fuck Roscoe's talking about?
I mean, okay, so Moogles are covered in fur.
But to say a Moogle has pompadour hair,
Yes, some of them. It's not unheard of for them to have more hair. It would look weird, but they could definitely style the longer fur on their head into a pompadour.
Zed kind of looks at Roscoe and says, "Nothing you've ever said has made more sense that you have a friend named Magongo, a vest-wearing pompadour having Moogle."
Closest friend, really.
Mm.
Does he use the same pomade?
It's Magongo brand
no.
on the lid. He makes it.
It's actually one of our sponsors. It's just a hard flashback cut to just a younger Roscoe with like the Pomade brand logo on like his boxing shorts.
Yes. Silas goes from like beginning to write the information about the Smoogle down, and then just puts away the pen because you don't need to have a recall tool for this, especially with the message being that Roscoe is on sabbatical, and so he just nods and passes back the vial of ink, the hair ink, and
What you don't know is Roscoe essentially just told you to tell this poor Moogle somewhere in this world that essentially the Batman equivalent of like Operation Nightfall, like everything has gone wrong. Like,
yep. Yeah. No, it's exactly. Yeah. So, well, I mean, if I make the message, I potentially get the response back. So we'll see. Strong foundation for.
I want to hear Andrew's Moogle voice. Actually, that's gonna
Yeah.
be fine.
Yeah.
Well,
They have a clear vocal tick, so
not this one. This one has a different clear vocal tick.
this one sounds like Gaz, doesn't he? Mongogo, the Pompadour Moogle, definitely has a New York or New Jersey accent. That is factual.
All right. Yes. Moving on. What's the message that you send to your father? I don't know if you wanted to type that out later or.
No, I can type it out now. So basically, left town. RSA, yeah. So our favorite student got mixed up in a protest, and favorite student is because like though these two don't talk much, a good chunk of the time that they do talk is Silas like sort of complaining about just ridiculous shit that has happened as a result of teaching Agatha Locke. On airship headed to, and he just uses the town name that is given to him by Zed. Won't be around for the foreseeable. And that's where it stops, about 4 words short of the 25.
Okay.
I'll send them to give me a second. I'll send them to the like to the where the Kurt family is from. I think that is the first place that Zed would think of to lie to. Very often.
Okay. Yeah, you get a you get a response back that's like, oh, just up and left. I don't know if this is the voice I'm going to stick with, but that's what I'm doing right now. You youngins always running off places. Bring me back a bottle of wine.
I think like it's as everybody is like settling down and almost asleep, and you hear Silas just puff of air, exhale that becomes a sigh, and then just kind of very quiet laughter that he's trying to hold back. That's that.
Right. We then everybody beds down for sleep. The first watch passes, and Roscoe goes. Yes, Roscoe goes to wake up. Zed.
Yep. Not really seeing anything come up during the watch. Knowing that Zed seemed to want to talk to him before Roscoe would wake him up a bit early. Doesn't like kick you, but does the thing where like he puts his foot and kind of like pushes you in like a nudge.
Zed's eyes open really quickly, and you see him go through the moment of waking up where he goes like he looks unsure about where he is for a moment, and then his face goes back to the normal like stony expression that he has, and he sits up and then like dusts himself off. He was lying on top of his coat, and he just kind of stands up and says, nothing eventful.
No, I think anything eventful already came and tried to eat us. So far.
Zed laughs and says, what do you think of the 3 new resistance members we have begun to cultivate?
Do you just mean in general, or are you needling for something?
No, in general. I would just tell you if I wanted something in particular.
I think the kid's just swept up in this right now. Don't really know if it's clicked yet.
Mm.
But
yes.
I like him. Abrasive, but
It does seem to be the ones that lost in the resistance are the less pleasant people to deal with. He says, fully meaning both you and him are unpleasant to deal with.
Yeah.
And says, I think after a day of traveling with Silas, I am less concerned than I was when he showed up in the middle of our mission. Sometimes perhaps people are just in the wrong place.
He's been helpful in the more dire circumstances we found ourselves in. Something odd, though, happened during the last battle when he fell. I assume he healed himself in some way. Which that in of itself is fine. When he did so, he looked younger, like early 20s, maybe a bit older.
was strange.
Hmm.
It went back to being an old fuck right after, but
Well, wouldn't we all go back to being 20 if we had the choice?
wouldn't have these if I did. And I gestures at his arms.
Zed thinks for a moment and goes, yes, on second thought, I also would prefer to not go back to being younger. But he's either a far, far better liar than I am, or not a spy. That doesn't mean he's not used by them for something else.
Well, I trust him for now. I hit him very hard in the face, and he still chose to help me later. So that counts for something.
Well, you have that magnetic personality that makes people forgive your transgressions. Asta is very competent, which is good.
They are. Can't get a read on them though.
Zed thinks for a moment about how that's really not. Yeah, but sometimes the resistance lacks competency, and Asta seems to bring it better than most. And yes, Agatha, it's hard to know the depth, how much the flames of anger could become impassioned resistance.
I think that'll be more clear once we actually leave Solness.
Yes.
Which,
And if
where we continue.
oh, I was going to say, and if she wasn't listening to music so frequently, you could actually talk to her.
She apologized to me for calling me a bastard.
Well, at least we know her judgment of character is flawed.
I told her as such.
Zed Larson says, yes, your honesty at all times is refreshing.
Which a thing that Zed would probably notice with Roscoe being the only one up with you, it's not like a complete personality change, not in the way that like Zed did, not nearly to that degree. He is talking and has less of like a performative or possibly almost buffoonishness to him.
Yeah, and from Roscoe's side, Zed is like very relaxed, like in the way that he really only is with people that he knows he can trust, and he's but he says but also seems very competent. I was considering the fact that schooling in Solness seems to capture a great breadth of topics. And then I remembered that in my schooling I learned how to collect the ether of monsters. So
Was never much for formal education.
Zed smiles and says, no, I wasn't either until, well, after I decided that I needed to actually be doing something.
Where are we
Anyway,
going exactly? By the way.
He like thinks for a moment, piecing together like everything that's happened the last couple of days, and says, well, the Esper said to find the fields of fire, which I believe are in the mountains, the volcanic region to the north. I think you come from up that way, right?
Yeah, if it's heading into the more mountainous regions, and that'll be well, pretty much anywhere there's mountains up there that's near or close to Odelheim. So
Said nods and says, I suspect we'll find at least another Esper of some kind, and hopefully not more Empire activity. Although it is Empire domain now.
it's pretty much everywhere these days.
Oh, there's some islands to the west still untouched.
Does Roscoe have any indication from previous interactions that Zed doesn't like flying?
We took an airship here, right, to Solness, Andrew? Yeah, Zed
Mhm.
hates airship flying. Actually, can you roll an insight check just to see if you magically crit?
Even if I do crit, it will be a -1.
Yeah, that's fine. If you crit, it will just be what was there for so long.
That was
Yeah, no,
almost.
Zed hates
That was
flying.
almost.
I think if you'd crit, it would have been that Zed had told like something at some point. But no, Zed does not like flying. It's like he's on the edge of being like motion sick the whole time. He really doesn't enjoy it.
Are you gonna handle traveling that far? Okay. You kind of you had that projectile look to you the whole way here.
Well, the secret is to only be 99% of the way to being sick. If you can hold the 1%, then you're fine. But perhaps the Esper will have empowered me to not be so sick. But
As
he
part of
doesn't
the
say yes
empowerment.
at all.
If that's part of the empowerment you received, then that's shit.
Yes, you seem to be able to punch slightly more. Although my magic has gotten stronger. But mostly what it's done is remove my motion sickness. There's trains.
Still don't
There's so
know-
many trains. They get places quickly. We don't need airship.
True. But we don't have a private train.
Hmm.
Unless you have some persona that does.
Zed smiles and affects. Have you met any like proper Igralbian like nobility ever?
Roscoe probably has it like shows.
He affects an incredible persona change to like a real Igralbian noble. Like without saying anything, the demeanor just matches it perfectly. And he's like, I'm sure I could muster up some kind of train. Piddling little thing like that. It's a drop in the ocean for someone like me. And he like rolls his shoulder out, similarly to how Roscoe does, and drops back into normal Zed behavior.
I don't know exactly how I feel about this Esper thing. Never really knew much about them to begin with. Kind of always just assumed they were tougher monsters in a way. And now we've been tasked by one.
Zed nods and says, I mentioned to Asta before, it's not my area of expertise, but they are more akin to gods than monsters. Although I did have a insufferable lecturer who assured me that the strongest monsters were in fact humans. He was executed for speaking poorly of He like thinks for a moment. Is the second emperor the younger? And he like shrugs. It was not a great loss to thinking.
I punched a lot of humans and a lot of monsters. He's full of shit.
Zed really laughs. Like this. Yes, well, I've never been able to summon the spirit of a human. Have you ever punched a Moogle?
Oh.
Yes. Did I not
I
mention,
think Zed is
Mongogo is also
fascinated by the story.
Mongogo is also my coach.
Oh. I hope that our
That-
paths cross with Mongogo.
Oh god.
But yeah, Zed will chat with you for a little bit, and as he's like
Yeah.
getting ready to do his start, and like patching up any clothes problems that he has, he says, "Thank you for the conversation, Roscoe."
Good. Always good to hear myself talk.
Zed chuckles and says, "I was thinking something very similar." But Zed, by the way, no pretense of actually watching. Like, he knows that something has to be basically upon him to see it, so he is really not even trying to. He's like, if it happens, it happens.
Rothkus assumes if he hears Zed start screaming that, like, okay, we need to get up.
It's a good instinct.
All right. I think with that, we're actually going to wrap up here. The night will pass. You all can long rest. Waking up in the morning without really very much to eat for breakfast, but at least hopefully your goal in sight. You begin trekking your way down out of these hilly jungle area towards the battlefield. We're going to end there for now. So, we'll see you all next week.